As the snow melts and the spring weather brings the life back to eastern Idaho, the baseball and softball teams in red and black take the field, hoping to rejuvenate their chances of a state championship. The seeds of success were planted last year. Likewise, the coaches begin taking the time to groom their athletes into the champions they could become. Spring in Caribou County is here, and so are the diamonds in the rough. Welcome to Cardinal Baseball and Softball on KVRV The Bear, where the voice of Caribou County, Caleb Burgraff, walks you through the field of talented youth all season long over the air and on the web at mylocalradio.com. This season of Cardinal Athletics is brought to you by Monsanto, Silver Star Communications, Hunsaker Ford, and by Cook Brothers Broadcasting. Now let's head to the field as the Redbirds look to take flight and earn a spot in this year's championships on your home for Caribou County and Soda Springs Athletics, KBRV 800 AM, and online at mylocalradio.com.
And welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Cardinal Athletics as the sun is shining through a gap in the clouds on a partly cloudy Friday morning right around 11 o'clock. And we welcome you out to Soda Springs High School, where they're getting set to take on the Snake River Panthers. Second time these teams will match up against each other, and the Cardinals hoping to split the season series after they were drubbed in a 10-run game in Snake River earlier on this season. Second game of the year for the Cardinals in that matchup, and this time around they're hoping for the better result, as they have since then gone 7-2 with their last two losses coming in recent games. So they're not only looking to try and get some revenge against Snake River, but also looking to try and get themselves back onto a new winning streak here at the end of what's been a rough week for the Cardinals. We have a big pregame show coming up for you. Reagan Yamauchi will be joining us as a member of the BPA team that's heading off to Nationals. Also, Coach Jeff Uskoski will be chatting with us on the pregame show on KBRV, the Co-op, and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance of Montpelier, Idaho. State Farm is here to help life go right. Call Scott at 208-847-0141 for personal service.
Let technology make life a little easier and give you peace of mind about your home. With affordable security and smart home options, Silver Star makes it easy to take the first step. Keep an eye on what's important to you and be able to act before an incident becomes an emergency. You're in good hands when you choose Silver Star. We've been bringing cutting-edge technology and star treatment customer service to Eastern Idaho and Western Wyoming for nearly 70 years. Call us today and ask about our starter security and smart home packages.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Ricky Wood and Gate City Real Estate. Call Ricky today at 208-547-7012 and let her help you find your way home.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Caribou Jack's Trading Company in Soda Springs, supplying you with everything for your home and your one-stop shop for all of your barbecue needs this spring and summer. Stop by at 50 East 2nd South in Soda Springs or call 208-547-4326 today.
Caleb Burgraff joined here with Reagan Yamauchi, a sophomore for BPA, and another sophomore that's going to be heading over to Nationals. We interviewed Connor Veely last week, and Reagan, this is going to be your first trip to Nationals as well. Are you excited to be making that trip?
I am most definitely excited to be going to Orlando, Florida. It's going to be a great experience and a lot of fun.
When you think about Nationals, you had a chance to go last year, but does actually getting to go instead of just qualifying to go and not being able to make it, does that make a difference in the way that you're preparing for this?
While I prepare to compete in interview skills, it's been a very big deal for me as I've tried to not only just be excited to go, but more importantly, go and do well in my event that I'm competing in.
When you think about interview skills, those are something that you're going to have to use throughout your life, whether it's a job interview or whether it's even just something as simple as this. Is that what made you choose this as what you wanted to get into, or were there other things that made you choose this field?
When trying to decide on an event in BPA, I was really kind of unsure at the beginning of what I exactly wanted to do. But then I realized how much I enjoy talking with people, and interviews just one that really stuck out to me that made me really want to do it.
How did your state competition go? Did you feel after you got done with it that you were going to be going to nationals?
After state, I just realized that I had done my best, and I knew that the outcome was going to be whatever it was, but I knew that performing in the moment is the most important thing.
When you found out that you were going to nationals, what was the feeling going through your head? What was the initial reaction to going?
My initial reaction was kind of a little bit shocked at the beginning, but then I realized that this was a great opportunity that I was going to have to be able to go to nationals with the great people that are in BPA, and Mrs. Cook does a really good job, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Business Professionals of America.
What were some of the things that you've learned from some of the other kids that have gone to nationals? What were some of the tips that they've been giving you as you prepare for it, and also that they've been helping you out with throughout the year?
My older sisters both competed in interview and were very successful in it, and a lot of the tips they've given me have just been something that I can look up to as they tell me ways to inflect my voice and ways to answer the questions, certain things like that. All of the little things become one big thing in interview.
Are you excited about the future for BPA, not just for yourself, but for the club, knowing and seeing the growth, not just in, again, yourself, but also in the way that the club's been able to add members this year?
Business Professionals of America, I wish people knew more about it because it truly is an amazing program that when people understand it, they realize the influence that it can have not only now, but more importantly in years to come. And I know that as BPA continues to grow, it's going to do great things for our school and most importantly our community.
To wrap this all up, what are the goals that you've set for yourself? Maybe not for this year necessarily, with going to nationals being a major step, but are there any goals that you've set for yourself for the future, for the next 2 years?
Competing in interview is something that will help me throughout the rest of my life in jobs and in anything I do. I believe that talking to people is something that can always be used in any aspect of your life. And I know that as I compete in this, that I'm going to give it my all and hopefully make something happen.
Reagan, thank you so much for the time, and we'll wish you the best of luck at nationals, and hopefully you and the other 3 that are going are going to be bringing back a little bit of hardware and hopefully competing well.
Thank you.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Arctic Circle of Soda Springs, where you can get burgers made from premium Black Angus beef, as well as fries and onion rings with their delicious fry sauce. Be sure to top it all off with a soft serve cone piled high and dipped with their delicious chocolate topping.
Get it to go at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs and Patterson Easy Way in Grace, Idaho. From pizza to potato wedges, from burritos to the jalapeno-flavored corn dogs, from candy, clothing, car accessories, and fountain drinks, convenience is fun. And Patterson Quick Stop and Patterson Easy Way help to fill your needs conveniently. They have something for everyone. Food, fuel, and fun at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs and Patterson Easy Way in Grace. Right here, right now.
Caribou County Athletics on KBRV are brought to you by Bear Lake Dental, where their commitment is to provide you with the highest standard of personalized dental care in a gentle, efficient, and professional manner. Call 208-847-0153 to schedule your appointment with Bear Lake Dental.
Whether it's warm outside and you need an air conditioning system or cold outside and you need a new natural gas furnace, Reed's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep your family comfortable, and there's never been a better time to convert to natural gas. With great service and expertise, Reed's is your all-weather friend in southeastern Idaho. Call us today, 208-547-4466, and we'll get right to work making your home comfortable and cozy. That's Reed's Plumbing and Heating at 208-547-4466. Natural gas, it's worth asking for.
This production of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by London Drug and Grace, your good neighbor pharmacy, locally owned, locally loved.
Welcome back out to Soda Springs High School. A little bit odd to say that, as this is the home opener for the Soda Springs Cardinals. First time we've gotten to come out and enjoy the sunshine at Soda Springs, and it's a good day to have some sunshine after rain came through yesterday, and really it was a cloudy and gray day all throughout Thursday, but the fields have stayed in good shape and the games are ready to be played here, and the Soda Springs Cardinals looking to avenge a rough 18-8 10-run loss to Snake River in 6 innings last time, as the second game of the season saw these two teams pitted against each other. Since then, though, Snake River has gone in one direction, Soda Springs has gone in the other, with Soda Springs entering with a 7-4 record, although they've dropped their last two. Snake River is welcomed in with a 3-12 record. Their last win came against American Falls in a game that they were able to win 18-9, but in that time they've also been 10-runned by Marsh Valley and are really trying to get things back on the right track for themselves as they enter this game 1-1 in district play, 3-12 overall on their schedule. Cardinals will be looking to try and get the bats going a little bit more, but for the most part, the biggest thing that they're going to be looking at is the defensive side of the baseball, and they're going to be hoping to have a much better performance than they had in their game against the Bear Lake Bears when they really had problems fielding the ball. And it wasn't just infield, it wasn't just outfield. They had 6 errors made by 5 different players in the game, and that can really cause some issues when you're out there trying to clean up a game, especially against a tough opponent like the Bear Lake Bears. So with Snake River coming into town, a team with a little bit less flashy of a record and maybe a little bit less nerves on the field for the Soda Springs Cardinals, this could turn into a very good game for them and hopefully a good victory to get them back on track. After this break, we're going to talk with Coach Jeff Yuskoski about that last game the Cardinals had and find out what his thoughts were about some bright spots that maybe can be taken from that game as we look forward on KBRV The Co-op and online with our live video stream at mylocalradio.com. The Cardinals take on the Panthers on your home for all things Caribou County.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Crop Production Services of Bancroft. Call 208-648-7891 to learn how to get the best production out of your crops.
When the time comes, you'll want true compassion balanced with clinical care for your mom or dad, grandma or grandpa. Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs provides a warm, caring, and secure environment for individuals who need medication assistance, healthy meals, and assistance with daily activities. You can help by introducing them to our Assisted Living Center. Come on in for a tour and consultation. Find out about our monthly move-in specials and respite visits. Furnished suites are available. Call 208-547-0257. The Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs, Idaho, a place to call home.
Hi, I'm Todd Hunziker. Most dealers focus on the experience you have just a few moments that you're in their store. At Hunziker Ford, we want to keep you happy forever, and to prove it, we offer warranty forever at no cost to you. So here's the deal. All you have to do is follow the maintenance schedule on virtually anything you buy from us, and the expensive powertrain components are covered forever. That's Todd Hunziker Ford, just east of Lava Hot Springs on Highway 30. It's just that simple.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Mountain States Insurance Company. Stop in for help with all of your insurance needs at 30 East, 2nd South next to Caribou Jackson, Soda Springs, or call 208-547-2141 and talk to an agent today.
Caleb Burgraff here with Coach Jeff Yuskoski from the baseball team. And Coach, a disappointing start to district play, end up dropping a game to Bear Lake, but in one way that's a good thing for you guys because it might serve as a wake-up call entering district play after the winning streak you guys have been really putting together.
Yeah, I think it's tough. High school kids, they have highs and lows, and when you're coaching high school kids, you have to understand that they're not professionals. They are going to be kids that sometimes have up and downs, and we had a down day on a bad day. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our head down. We have an opportunity to grow up and work hard, and that's a good thing. That's what high school sports are for.
You guys had a pretty good outing, actually, from Kyle Durstow as far as the fact when the balls were put in play, they were fieldable. There were opportunities to get the outs there. Was that something you've enjoyed seeing from him in his last 2 starts, the fact that it's a lot of ground balls or weak flyouts?
Yeah, Kyle's tough to hit. I think that he could definitely be a kid that goes and shuts people down. We have to play better behind him. We didn't give him a whole lot of support on Wednesday, but we are going to keep working on that, and Kyle's going to keep working on the bump. I think he's going to be really important for us going forward.
Offensively, you guys went against one of the tougher pitchers in the district, most likely, in the Parker kid throwing in Kason Parker. By the end of that game, you weren't having as many swings and misses, though. A lot more contact was being put in play. How much has the offense improved throughout this year that you've seen as far as just making contact with the ball?
Well, and that's, I mean, if you look at the early games in the season when we were playing Marsh Valley and we played Snake River, and we're going to get to have a chance to measure ourselves against them again today, we were not a very good hitting team. And then as we went over to Glens Ferry, we hit really well. We're still, I'd say, in a little mini slump, but we are getting better. I think as the pitching gets better later on in the year, our kids have to adjust. Early season pitching, kids' arms aren't in shape, and so hitting's a little bit easier than it is at this point. And we have our batters are making the adjustment. I think we'll see good things today.
When you talk about Snake River, you get them on your home field this time. It's the home opener for you guys as well. Chilly day, a little bit earlier in the day, but is there something that you see changing the kids when they take to this field at home in the years that you've been here?
It's really been nice. The first few years, we only had a couple people here, but as we have had a little bit more success, they have more people showing up. They're excited to play, have their friends and family, grandmas and grandpas come and see them. And so I think they're pretty excited to get on the field at home. We don't have snow on it, and so that's a huge step here in Soda, and we're looking forward to playing today.
To wrap it all up, as you look at Snake River, what's the one thing that they did in that first game that you have to stop? What was the way that they were able to come away with that win?
I think the biggest thing is they threw strikes. Their kid threw strikes, and that's a big thing for early in the season. You're throwing strikes, and we had some swings and misses that we won't be having, I think, this time around. So I think that was the one thing. They're going to throw strikes in high school baseball. If you can throw strikes and field the ball and throw it across, you're going to be a pretty good team. And they were able to do that, and I think that today we'll probably hit a lot better. I think hopefully we'll see two teams that throw strikes and field the ball and throw it across today.
Coach, thanks for the time as always, and good luck to you and the Cardinals.
All right, thanks, Caleb.
First pitch is coming up next, and your starting lineups on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This broadcast of high school sports is being made possible by the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming.
Here's a look at some of your Lalaton's food specials for the week of April 20th through the 26th in Soda Springs. Grab 80% lean, 20% fat ground beef for $2.49 a pound. Boneless pork country-style ribs are $1.49 a pound. And all-natural, boneless, skinless family pack chicken breasts are $1.99 a pound. In fruits and vegetables, red cluster tomatoes are available at 99 cents a pound. 8-ounce packages of whole or sliced mushrooms are $1.49 a pound. And 3-pound bags of mandarin tangerines are $3.99 each. Those are just some of your Lalaton food specials in Soda Springs.
Caribou County Athletics are being brought to you by Bear River Head Start, where they are now accepting applications for preschool. Call 435-755-0181 and enroll your 3- or 4-year-old children today.
Imagine a mining company that respects the quality of the environment and health of natural ecosystems. At Monsanto, we don't begin mining unless we can ensure every safeguard is in place to respect the environment. And if they're not, then we don't mine. Simple as that. That's why we take steps before, during, and after mining to reach our goal of leaving the land even better than we found it. Monsanto. Imagine.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Troy Young Plumbing and Heating. Call 208-221-0581 for all your plumbing needs, including new installs and remodels, repairs, furnace installation, and more.
Welcome back out to the high school baseball field at Soda Springs as the Cardinals getting set to take to the field for the first time on their own home grass, as Peyton Lish will be taken to the mound with Caleb Peterson finishing up the starting lineup behind him. A little bit of a flurry of snow coming in to welcome the Cardinals to their own field, but that should pass on as the day moves on. We might get a couple more flurries, though, as the weather forecast calling for a 20% chance of snow throughout the day under partly cloudy skies. With the temperature, it was supposed to get up to the mid-40s, but that has been adjusted, and the high 30s are where you can hope to get to throughout the day. Cardinals in the field behind Peyton Lish. We'll see Taylor Adams moved over to first base once again. Second base will be Kyle Durstiller, as he had some arm issues earlier on today. He was supposed to be in left field. Shortstop is Zach Housley, and the third baseman is Jaron Johnson. Out in left field, Case Griffiths has been moved to the outfield from his normal second base spot. Center field is where Dylan Downs will be roving, and in right field, Mason Smith once again finds himself in a position where he can try and improve from the performance on Wednesday where the Cardinals made 6 errors. He was one of the Cardinals who made an error, and then several errors made by the infield around. So they're hoping that the defensive performance is better. They'll all be starting things off against Gunnar Ramsdell of the Snake River Panthers. He'll be leading things off, the center fielder for the Panthers. Long blonde hair underneath the helmet as that drapes over the back of his uniform. Behind him, Colin Gardner and Riley Carter will wrap up the starting 3 in the 9-man rotation for the Snake River Panthers. And with the number 23 on his back in purple, Ramsdell steps into the right-handed batter's box. And we are set for action here in Soda Springs. And the first pitch from Peyton Lish inside and missing for a ball. Cardinals 7-4 have dropped their last 2, as we said. The first loss to Firth. Errors hurt them in that game as well. A 3-1 loss this week on Tuesday, where the final 2 runs by the Firth Cougars were scored by errors on the Cardinals. There's a pitch fouled off back to the screen, moves the count to 1-1 to the opening batter of the game. And the second loss to Bear Lake, well, out of their 11 runs, only 5 of those runs were earned. 3 of the early ones, and then the last 2 runs against Dylan Downs were earned as well. No score here on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Leadoff batter as Peyton Lish looks in from the mound and rocks before winding, firing, and a pitch chopped foul down the first base line, fielded cleanly by Coach Kevin Curtis, I believe, down that line, and the count goes to 1-2. Lish trying to get this game off to a quick start for the Cardinals on the defensive side. He's been one of the more successful pitchers for the Cardinals, as they've had plenty of good success throughout the early part of the season in their pitching staff. Again, those 7 wins relevant to that. The pitch grounded over towards short. Kyle Dursteller easily up with it, makes the flip on to second, or to first, from second, and the first out of today's game is recorded on 4 pitches from Peyton Lish. A weak ground out to the second baseman for the Cardinals. That brings up Colin Gardner wearing the black hoodie over the top of his uniform, white pants with the pinstripes, and black helmets for the Snake River Panthers. Lish again looks in as the sun breaks through, the flurry dissipates, and the first pitch from Lish upstairs missing. And the count goes to 1-0 on Gardner. 1 out, top of the first inning. Cardinals outfield playing fairly shallow. There is a breeze that is pushing the steam from Monsanto and from other industry buildings as a pitch swung on and missed. Pushing all that to the east as the wind coming out of the west today and moving the clouds along. Have had a couple of big patches of blue overhead, but for the most part, it's been those clouds continue to make their way through. Pitch swung on and fouled off over towards the field to our right. And that will find its way down as the count goes to 1-2 to the second straight batter for the Snake River Panthers. 1 out in the top of the first inning. Lish with another pitcher's count as he works to Colin Gardner at the plate. Caleb Peterson flashes the sign, sets up behind the plate in the crouch. As Lish into his slow windup, fires inside, and that's fought off the hands as well and fouled off, and the count remains 1-2. Snow-capped hills on the backside of here. A little bit of a frosting last night as it rained most of the day yesterday. That's why it's a little bit of a shock that the fields are in such good shape, but I was out there walking. The Cardinals baseball field drained very well. Pitch swung on, fouled off again. Good fight being put up by Colin Gardner as he makes it a 1-2 count. And keeps it there as he's fought off a couple of foul balls on the inside. Wind continuing to breeze in, making it a little bit of a chilly morning. Pitch swung on and missed, went upstairs at the chest, and Gardner couldn't hold off. He got used to fighting off those inside pitches, and Peyton Lish earns his first punch out of the game on 6 pitches, and that sets up a 2-out at-bat for Riley Carter, doing the pitching today for the Snake River Panthers. Instead of wearing the black hoodie, wearing the Panther gray warm-up, long gray sleeve shirt, light gray, with a purple helmet on top as he steps in. Another right-handed batter. Outfield stays where they're at as the first pitch cuts the knees off, and the count goes to 0-1. Lish looking for a 1-2-3 first inning. And he'll again stare in. Lish, a pitcher who can work with 3 separate pitches, working on a fourth. As this one swung on, fouled off down the first base line, and another good pitcher's count. Has a fastball, curveball, and a knuckleball that he can throw, all with varied levels of success. And then a changeup is another pitch that they're working on for him. So trying to build up that repertoire as he works 0-2 ahead of Riley Carter. 2 outs. Looking to get the Cardinals offense up to the plate with no score on the board and no hits on the board for the Panthers. As Lish's pitch downstairs and away and taken for a ball. Couldn't get Carter to go fishing. Carter, one of the taller Panthers, that takes to the field. Wears the number 8 on the uniform when not covered up. Steps once again to the right-handed box. Middle of the box with the cleats lined up almost against the back of the chalk. Lish's delivery to the plate, upstairs and tight, and the count goes to 2-2. Carter holding off on a pitch that both Ramsdell and Gardner could not hold off on, and gets himself back into a little bit better of a hitter's count. Can be a little bit more aggressive at the plate now with it back to even at deuces. As Lish looks in, catches the sign, nods his head, winds, and the sophomore fires a pitch upstairs, and looks like he was trying to get a little bit of snap on a pitch and bring it down, but couldn't get on top of it. And the count goes to 3-2. Coach Uskoski giving advice to Caleb Peterson out from the dugout. As he flashes the glove again and a pitch inside. And after getting ahead 0-2, the first walk of the game is given to Riley Carter as he's able to fight himself back. And the first Davis Repair walk puts a runner on with 2 outs for the Snake River Panthers, keeping the inning going. And it brings up Dallin Wadoops. Other thing, again, we talked about the pitch count rules for Idaho. That really adds to the pitch count now for Peyton Lish. New count to a new batter. Wadoops steps in, the right fielder, wearing the white hoodie now, an array of different upper gear being worn by the Panthers. There's a pinch runner over to first base, it looks like, as well for the pitcher. And a snap throw to first base has the pinch runner diving back. The only reason I know that is a new jacket being worn out there. Not sure which Panther that would be on the first base bag as he'll lead off. Wadoops again in the right-handed box, no count against him. Cardinals playing straight up, pulled in a little bit at third base as Jaron Johnson plays even with the bag. Likes to creep up a lot over there in that third base position. As this pitch swung on and missed, an off-speed pitch had Wadoops off in the front foot, and the count goes to 0-1. Here with 2 outs in the top of the first. No score on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. That runner at first base reaching base via the Davis Repair walk, home of your equipment and diesel specialists in Soda Springs. Lish again looks in, sets, and the right-hander will wind to the plate as this one taken just a little bit low for a ball. 1-1 the count moves to with that. The Cardinals look on from their dugout shed on the third base side. Panthers huddled around the opening of the dugout on the right side as Lish will pick off again to first base. Quick fire and pitch a little bit high on the throw to Taylor Adams as they keep that runner aware on that first base bag, not wanting to let him get any sort of footing as he leads off of the dirt island onto the grass. Left foot just touching the dirt. He's off to a small lead. Lish looks in again, winds to the plate. This one swung on and missed. Came back with that same off-speed pitch and got it underneath the hands of Wadoops. And he tried to cut through it but could not quite catch any of the ball. 1-2 your count now, and Lish working for that second out. No score here in the top of the first inning. Lish again checks behind them, kicks, fires. This one swung on and missed again. 4 up, 3 down, and Lish with a pair of strikeouts in the first inning as we head to the bottom of the first. Cardinals offense getting set to take some swings on your home for Cardinal Athletics. KBRV the Co-op and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance of Montpelier, Idaho. State Farm is here to help life go right. Call Scott at 208-847-0141 for personal service.
Let technology make life a little easier and give you peace of mind about your home. With affordable security and smart home options, SilverStar makes it easy to take the first step. Keep an eye on what's important to you and be able to act before an incident becomes an emergency. You're in good hands when you choose SilverStar. We've been bringing cutting-edge technology and star treatment customer service to Eastern Idaho and Western Wyoming for nearly 70 years. Call us today and ask about our starter security and smart home packages.
A scoreless top of the first inning opens the Cardinals' home season on the right foot as the offense will get set to take to the field. And we'll look at the Cardinals' starting lineup. Zach Housley leads things off in his traditional number one spot. Kyle Dursteller moved up in the lineup as he'll be batting second. Jaron Johnson behind him in the three-hole. Dylan Downs, the center fielder, bats fourth for the Cardinals. Mason Smith, the senior right fielder, who had a pair of hits against Bear Lake and one of the better offensive games for the Cardinals in that game, will bat in the five-hole. Peyton Lish bats sixth. Caleb Peterson, doing the catching today, is in the 7 spot. Taylor Adams bats 8th at first base, and Case Griffiths, moved from second base to left field, will be batting in the 9 spot. As far as the defense is concerned in the field, center fielder Gunnar Ramsdell will be flanked by the right fielder Dallin Wadoops and the left fielder Gage Herning. In the infield, first base is Caden Martin, second base Colin Gardner, shortstop is Benson Isom, and the third baseman is Jace White, and your starting battery Riley Carter with Cody Rushton behind home plate for the Snake River Panthers. And again, expect a couple of substitutions for the Snake River Panthers throughout the game as they're trying to get some players ready for district play. And for postseason play, you got to have varsity time, and so the Panthers looking to get some of their JV players in with some of that varsity time. And looking out from the mound as he gets set for the opening batter, Riley Carter stares in. Tall right-hander, winds and fires, and the first pitch catches the outside corner for a strike to Zach Housley. Housley, one of the more patient Cardinal hitters, but also one of the ones with the better eye for the strike zone. He'll stand again in the right-handed box, wiggles the bat as the pitch bounced up to the plate, kicks hard, and the count evens up at 1-1. Trying to get things started off with a base runner. He's done that all this week. In fact, at Bear Lake, he got on base and got to third with some steals as a pitch missing upstairs, and the count goes to 2-1. Riley, again, wearing that gray warm-up top we saw during his at-bat. Fires a pitch just off the outside corner. Catcher tried to pull it back in, but you saw the glove move back towards the plate. That's an indication for the umpire that not quite on the plate as the count goes to 3-1, and a pitch just off the outside corner, and the count goes to 4-1, and it's some base on balls to lead things off for Zach Housley. See if the Cardinals put him in motion early. Again, it's not a matter with Zach of when, but when, as he is going to be in motion there from the first base bag. He is one of the quickest members of the Cardinals team and one of the quickest members in District 5 on any of the baseball teams around. As a move over to first base will have him back to the bag. Dursteller was showing bunt. That's bringing in the third baseman, Jace White. He'll again start making his move in, already playing even with the dirt of the third base bag as a pitch bunted at and bunted foul. Dursteller couldn't get that one down in front of home plate. That's something the Cardinals have really been putting a lot of effort and time into in their practices, been working on the bunting game, but still not quite where it needs to be at. Dursteller again looks out. Outfield, playing deep and left, shallow and center and right. As the pitch gets past the catcher, and Housley on the move will take second base on the wild pitch, and the count moves to 1-1 on Dursteller. Pitch bounced in the right-handed batter's box and got past the catcher to the fence through the loose dirt. Another pitch down. Dursteller pulls the bat back as, again, he was showing bunt, and the count goes to 2-1. At this point in time, if you're Riley Carter, sometimes if they're giving you an out, take the out. Right now he's trying to aim his pitches, it seems like, as the right-hander again fires. This pitch in the zone, bunted at, gets past the catcher once again, and moving up on the play is Zach Housley as a pair of wild pitches despite another strike. Will move the count to 2-2, but without the benefit of the bunt, the Cardinals move Housley up to third base. Carter again sets and fires. Pitch swung on and missed by Dursteller, and out number 1 is recorded on the first strikeout of the game by Riley Carter. Runner on third base still, 1 out. Jaron Johnson steps up. Ball in play is all he needs. Situational hitting as he'll swing, took a big cut at a pitch through the zone underneath it, and the count goes to 0-1. Again, this is another place the Cardinals have been struggling with is their situational hitting and trying to just get the ball in play when you need it to bring that run home. That's what hurt them a little bit in Bear Lake as well. Pitch just off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Riley Carter dancing around the strike zone so far. He's gone with at least 2 balls to each batter he sees as Johnson swings at another pitch a little bit slower than the fastballs he's been seeing and got out in front of it. And the count goes to 1-2. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Cardinals with a leadoff man on base. That's Housley, who stands off third. Carter fires to the outside and could not catch the glove, which was set up on the inside. And the count goes to 2-2. And once again, Johnson with a decent hitter's count. 2-2 pitch to the plate, down low and taken for 3-2. Kicked up a little bit of dirt and was off the plate as well. Full count. Johnson, opportunity to get on base, and he'll see this one get past the catcher as well. Kicks up, Housley on the move for home. A diving play as the catcher, Cody Rushton, headlong dove to the plate trying to tag out Housley, but Housley scores on the wild pitch, and the first run of the game is across the plate for the Cardinals. Another walk as well as Johnson makes his way down to first on 6 pitches. And your second Davis Repair walk reloads or puts another bullet in the chamber for the Cardinals over at first base as Dylan Downs will step up. He had an RBI on Wednesday as he'll chop one foul off the chalk and to the right side with the count going to 0-1. 1 out, 1 run across. Runs brought to you by Ricky Wood and Gate City Real Estate. 1-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Cardinals ahead. Carter sets once again. Stills the body and fires. This ball chopped over towards third. Bobbled on the play over by third baseman Jace White. Throw on to first is going to get Dylan Downs, but it is just a 5-3 put out. The chance that a double play was there, but will have to be looked at for the future as Johnson able to move up to second. Second out of the inning is recorded, though, and now Mason Smith will step to the plate with his own opportunity to try and move things along. Carter to the plate, upstairs and tight, gets the strike. Caught the inside corner of the plate as Mason Smith took that one and will look to try and adjust where he's looking. Carter's been working away almost this entire game, now starting to come inside a little bit more, maybe confidence growing after getting that ground out. He's attacking hitters with a more consistent regularity. Fires a pitch, and this one bends off the plate, a slider that couldn't catch the zone, and the count goes to 1-2. Slider always seems to be an undeveloped pitch in high school baseball. See a lot of curveballs. Is this pitch? That's a curveball that bends just over the zone, not where the catcher catches it, but where it crosses the plate, and that one a little bit of late drop to it, but could not quite drop down in time. 2-2. 2 outs, pitch to the plate inside. That hits Mason Smith, and now a runner on first base and second base for the Soda Springs Cardinals as Smith will take that one and jog down to first with the first hit batsman of the game for either side. And Peyton Lish will have an opportunity with the inning extending to allow the 6th Cardinal to come up to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Cardinals on top. Carter to the plate, swung on and missed. Big cut by Lish has him stumbling onto the plate, and the count goes to 0-1. Infield brought in on the corners once again. First base covering the bag for the Snake River Panthers. The ball is going to be nubbed back to the pitcher. Carter underhands that to first, and the out is recorded on a 1-3 put out. Cardinals do strike for a run, though, leave 2 on base as we head to the top of the second inning. Cardinals leading 1-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Arctic Circle of Soda Springs, where you can get burgers made from premium Black Angus beef, as well as fries and onion rings with their delicious fry sauce. Be sure to top it all off with a soft serve cone piled high and dipped with their delicious chocolate topping.
Whether it's warm outside and you need an air conditioning system, or cold outside and you need a new natural gas furnace, Reed's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep your family comfortable, and there's never been a better time to convert to natural gas. With great service and expertise, Reed's is your all-weather friend in southeastern Idaho. Call us today, 208-547-4466, and we'll get right to work making your home comfortable and cozy. That's Reed's Plumbing and Heating at 208-547-4466. Natural gas, it's worth asking for.
The Soda Springs Cardinals strike first. They put a run onto the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as we head to the top of the second inning with Peyton Lish returning to the mound. Baseball up 1-0. Softball on their field taking on the Snake River Panthers as well. No score updates from there yet. We'll hopefully have some of those as the game continues. As the Cardinals looking to try and get back onto the winning side of things there as well. Both these baseball and softball teams have gone 0-2 to start the week, losing to Firth by 2 for baseball and by 1 for softball. An extra inning affair that was heartbreaking after they had a 10-1 lead. And then both teams losing in baseball and softball to Bear Lake as well. The Cardinal boys again losing 11-1 in 6 innings. The Lady Cardinals going all 7 innings, trailed 2-0, going to the top of the 7th, scored 4 runs, but then allowed 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Bear Lake Bears came away with a win, and that actually put Bear Lake into a tie with Westside at the top of the district. Westside 2-1, maybe the surprise of the district so far. They've beaten Malad twice and handily both times, 15-4. The last time they played, and 10-4 the first time they played. So Westside maybe will be the team to watch out for. As we apologize for those watching online about our frozen video. We'll try and get that fixed in between innings. As the first batter for Snake River steps into the batter's box, that'll be Cody Rushton. As Lish looks in, and the windup by the Cardinal starter will be chopped over toward third. Jaron Johnson with his first play flips the ball to his hand, throws on to first. It skips away from Taylor Myers. He'll get to the ball, but it's another error on the Cardinals and their third baseman, Jaron Johnson. And the error allows a runner on base for the Snake River Panthers with Caden Martin stepping up to the plate. Again, we do apologize for that frozen video. We'll try and get that resolved as quickly as possible here on your home for Cardinal Athletics. Peyton Lish stares in once again, checks back over to first, sets, and then pickoff move to first base. We'll have the runner diving back. Cody Rushton, I believe, still the man out there on the base paths. No pinch runner for him. Although in high school baseball in Idaho, you can pinch run for the catcher and the pitcher. As Lish looks in once again, no count. At the plate, Caden Martin, the first baseman, takes a pitch on the inside for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Jace White on deck, Gage Herning in the hole for the Snake River Panthers. Bottom of the order with a runner on first and nobody out. That runner reaching on an error. As Lish will stare in. Sets at the chest once again, kicks, fires, and the pitch swung on and missed. Got some heat on the outside, and Martin couldn't adjust to the new speed. And the count will instead go to 0-2. Sets things up for another look in by Lish. Nods his head to the sign by Caleb Peterson behind the plate. And the pitch popped up. So beyond the infield, Lish tracking it as he and Taylor Adams nearly collide in foul territory on the first base side, but Lish able to put it away, and the pop out is recorded. Got to call that out. Cardinals getting a little bit lucky nonetheless, as no one collided and the ball was able to be put away for the out, but you got to call that out. You got to make sure that someone knows you're there. Top of the second to 1 out now, and the runner still at first base with Jace White stepping in. Outfield continues to creep in, downshifted a little bit over to the right side of second base as a snap throw to first base has the runner in Cody Rushton diving back to the bag. Rushton tall and athletic and able to get back easily as he's got that length and that extra reach on the arms to really stretch himself out as he'll step out to a 3-step lead once again into the grass away from the dirt island at first. Lish looks once more that direction, now sets, winds, fires, and a pitch inside plunks the third baseman Jace White, and a hit batter will now give the Snake River Panthers runners on first and second base with 1 out. And Lish will need some punch outs with the bottom of the order, some quick outs with the bottom of the order to adjust. Lish, that's one of the places he's definitely struggled a lot this year, has been with the hitting of batters. And so Yuskoski coming out. There was a balk before the hit batter. And Coach Yuskoski saying that the balk was before the pitch, so it should be the balk that's taken, not the result of the play. The umpire's now conferring as they're going to discuss things over. And they are going to move the runner to second, and the hit batter will have to come back to the plate, I believe. As the balk came before the pitch, and that will move the runner at first base back. So no hit batsman quite yet. The balk is basically just a redo on the play. So Peyton Lish gets another chance. No pitch on that one and no count. As Lish will look in once again. A little bit of a redo. Again, the runner does move up to second on the balk. And Lish will stare in once again. Looks back behind him. Kicks, fires. The pitch away from the plate. That's going to allow the runner another base as he'll move up to third. And Cody Rushton, the tying run, a little bit closer to scoring home as the count goes to 1-0. Now to Jace White. And he's in the position that Jaron Johnson and Dylan Downs were in. Put a ball in play, you bring home a run. Snow again begins to flurry its way down here at the fields and Soda Springs. And a pitch to the dirt blocked by Caleb Peterson. Count goes to 2-0. Little pebbly snow falling down. As a little bit more of a flurry makes its way through here. Wouldn't be baseball in Idaho in the spring if you didn't have a little bit of a snowstorm, though, especially not for Soda Springs, where you can easily see the snow on the hilltops to the back by where you have the Agrium and Monsanto mines. As the pitch inside bends away, and the count stays at 3-0. No strikes. 3 balls to Jace White, looking to get on base via the walk this time. Walk again will be brought to you by Davis Repair. Lish rocking, kicking, firing, and that pitch on the knees for a strike. The count goes to 3-1. And again, looking to bring that runner home for Jace. He's got to be aggressive at the plate here. He's got a hitter's count. If he sees something he likes, got to put it in play. Bring that runner home on your own accord. Don't wait for the pitcher to make a mistake to do so. He does swing, but a nasty little slider that drops away, a curveball I should say, that drops away from Jace White. And the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lish trying to come all the way back from 3-0. Adjust the cap on his head. Steps up to the rubber once again. Peterson flashes, shows. And Lish will rock, adjust the glove, fires. That's on the inside corner for strike 3. Jace White was looking for the walk and is punched out instead for the 3rd Peyton Lish strikeout. That's a big one for Peyton Lish too, as it keeps that runner at third base with 2 outs and brings up Gage Herning. The left fielder with 2 outs will now try and do something. 1-0, Cardinals leading in the top of the 2nd inning over the Snake River Panthers on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. 3 punch outs for Lish, 1 walk, and there was a hit batsman, but that one was erased after a balk was called beforehand. Lish will look in. He'll wind, and time called by the batter at the plate. Herning will step back in, the left fielder, to just get one over the infield. Get it into the outfield, try and drop one down. He'll bounce one towards third. That's where Johnson is. At the bag, picks it up. Long throw to first. Got him! Johnson making up for the error that he made earlier in the inning to allow the base runner. Cuts down Gage Herning as he runs down to first, and the Cardinals escape a jam in the top of the 2nd inning. We head to the bottom of the second. Cardinals will have the bottom three in their order coming up on KBRV, the co-op, and law online at mylocalradio.com. We'll try and get our video fixed on your home for Cardinal Athletics. Caleb Peterson with the line out, and with one out, that'll bring up Taylor Adams to the batter's box for the Soda Springs Cardinals. They're looking to try and continue to have success here in this game, as Adams will step in with no count against him. Nobody on base here in the second inning on KBRV, the co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com. Happy to have you here with us as the first pitch to Taylor Adams, taken for a ball, and the count goes to 1-0. Again, trying to keep you up to date on how things are going. Another pitch catches the zone for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Here on the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. There's another pitch. This one grounded out, picked up by the shortstop, and the throw goes on to first base. Actually the pitcher, Riley Carter, able to make the play, and the count will reset as Case Griffiths will step up to the plate looking for his own bit of magic. And the first pitch will be taken for a strike on Case Griffiths. Looking for a quick inning. There's Riley Carter out there in the circle, as he will again step in. Griffiths will look out. 0-1 pitch, another strike bent in. Count goes to 0-2 on Griffiths. 1-2. Griffiths will try and figure out a way to get on base with 2 outs. Takes another pitch, and the count goes to 2-2. Bottom of the second inning, another pitch missing inside. The count continues to move towards Griffith's favor. 3-2. 10th pitch of the inning to the plate. Taken just off the outside corner of the plate. And it's another walk, a Davis Repair walk for Griffiths. And that's been the way the Cardinals have gotten people on base. Riley Carter yet to give up a hit, but's walked 3 people for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Pitch missing low now to Zach Housley as he steps in. Cardinals with a runner on first, 2 outs. Trying to push another run across here in the bottom of the second inning. Pitch misses down to the dirt. Griffith stays at first as the ball didn't get that far away from the catcher. Count will remain where it's at. And another pitch misses as well. 3-0 your count to Zach Housley, the senior shortstop for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Carter to the plate. 3-0 pitch across the plate. Housley taking all the way. Count now goes to 3-1, and now 3-2 as another pitch bends at the knees, and the count goes full to the Cardinals shortstop, as Housley's going to have to try and punch a ball into play now as he's got himself back on the ropes. This pitch taken for ball 4. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs, and the Cardinals all of a sudden trying to get a little bit of a late rally going. 2 more Davis Repair walks on your base pass will bring up Kyle Dursteller. He struck out on 5 pitches his first time up. First pitch he sees is a curveball that stays high through the strike zone, and the count goes to 1-0. Dursteller sets again. Pitch off the plate, bounces in, and the count goes to 2-0. 18 pitches into this inning. 43 pitches into the game now. Carter to the plate, swing on, popped up into shallow left center field, and coming on to make the play is Gunnar Ramsdell as he puts it away, and the Cardinals put 2 runners on base but cannot strike as the Snake River Panthers tiptoe their way through danger, and we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Your Sanders Furniture and Appliance 3rd inning. Cardinals leading 1-0 over the Snake River Panthers on KBRV The Co-op and online at mylocalradio.com. Your home for Cardinal Athletics.
This production of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by London Drug and Grace, your good neighbor pharmacy, locally owned, locally loved.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Caribou Jack's Trading Company in Soda Springs, supplying you with everything for your home and your one-stop shop for all of your barbecue needs this spring and summer. Stop by at 50 East 2nd South in Soda Springs or call 208-547-4326 today. 1-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as we enter the top of the 3rd inning, Your Sanders Furniture and Appliance 3rd inning, where Sanders Furniture and Appliance carries only the best brands, including Lazy Boy, Amana, Maytag, Crosley, GE, and more. Sanders Furniture and Appliances, working at making your house a home. Peyton Lish back out into the middle of the diamond for his 3rd inning of work. He has thrown 31 pitches so far, given up 2 base runners, 1 on an error, 1 on a walk, and has struck out 3 Panthers so far. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Panther order as Benson Isom will lead things off. Where's the number 2? Playing shortstop today for the Panthers. Behind him, Gunnar Ramsdell and Colin Gardner will be lined up for Snake River. Another right-handed batter. All righties in the Snake River lineup today. Infield shifted around the bases to guard the lines a little bit as this ball flared out into left field. A little bit of a line drive that got just to the left of Jaron Johnson, and the first base hit of the game is on board for either team as it's a line shot by Benson Isom against Peyton Lish. Flips the lineup over, and Gunnar Ramsdell will step to the plate. Gunnar again with the long hair underneath the helmet steps into the right-handed box. Looks like there's decent speed on the base paths in Isom as a pickoff move to first base has him falling back to the bag. He'll step back up to the first base bag. Lish will again look into the opening batter of this game, who grounded out to second base his first time up. Gunner's 0 for 1. Looking to get Snake River onto the board for the first time today. Another pickoff move to first base has Ramsdell diving back to the bag, as Lish definitely concerned about the runner over there. Second time these two teams have faced each other, so a little bit more familiarity this time around in what different players have the ability to do. Lish again looks behind him, checks at the chest, kicks, fires, and the pitch inside misses. Runner going, and the throw to second base off target and safely in with a MySpace storage stolen base is Benson Isom. Pitch missed, count goes to 1-0. Nobody out here in the top of the third. Snake River with a runner in scoring position and a good opportunity to maybe push across their first run of the game. Lish will check once again. Cuts to the plate, and the pitch grounded towards first, past Taylor Adams into right field to the plate, and hustling home as Isham. The throw beats him, but it's offline and safely across the plate. Oh, what's got to go as an E3 is the first run of the game for the Snake River Panthers. It's an unearned run as he reached, or excuse me, that one is an earned run. Although the runner on first now, reaching on an error, would be unearned after this. But Snake River able to push across the run. We find ourselves tied 1-1 in the top of the third inning. Lish again checks the runner behind him, throws back to first, and Taylor Adams will snap the tag. Adams looked like he had the ball in his sights, but then his feet got stuck and he jabbed at it with the glove instead of getting his body in front of it. And that's the big thing you got to do, especially at first, is keep the ball in front of you, because you'll have that play at the bag. It's not a long throw if the pitcher has to cover, and it's usually a short jog to the bag. But again, the ball gets by you. You don't have the opportunity for any of that. So nobody out, and Colin Gardner at the plate, who struck out swinging his first time up. One of the 3 strikeouts Lish has been able to record. He'll set at the chest, winds and fires, and this pitch lined over to Johnson. Runner was going. Johnson's throw to first doubles him up on a line drive double play. Colin Gardner made solid contact, but the out is recorded on the first pitch he sees, and the bases are clear as Riley Carter will try and get something going for Snake River with 2 outs in the top of the third. Tie ball game 1-1 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard after a line drive to Jaron Johnson, fielded cleanly, and a strong throw to first base got Gunnar Ramsdale off the bag. Got a freeze on those line drives till you see him through the infield. A pitch fouled off down the right side to open this at-bat. Moves the count to 0-1. Lish working quickly. That's only his 5th pitch to the plate here in this inning. Peyton walks behind the mound. Now gets back up on top. And holds the glove at the chest once again. Rocks back, now winds, and the 1-0 bounces to the plate, blocked by the glove of Caleb Peterson. Gets away from him, but the count nonetheless goes to 1-1. Carter walked his last time up, got behind in the count, 0-2, but then Lish lost him and threw 4 straight pitches out of the zone in order for that walk to be earned. Lish now even in the count, 1-1, fires a pitch that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. Lish working well down in the zone. Another thing that the Cardinals have been working on is pitch location and calming yourself down and dialing in on the catcher's glove. Not aiming at it, but throwing to it. Another pitch fouled off of the hands to the screen, and the count goes to even once again at 2-2. Lish again wanders up to the mound. Lish, when he's not pitching, rotates around the field. He's played first base, played a bit of designated hitter as well for the Cardinals, and a bit of second. Pitch downstairs, misses low, and the count goes full again, 3-2. Carter, last time he had the full count, was able to get a walk. We'll see if Lish can dial in and find that strike zone on 3-2. Looks in. White panel front of his cap, straight to Caleb Peterson. Is that pitch on the knees? And Riley Carter knew it as he looks up and says that was a pitch to swing at as he walks to the dugout. Cardinals surrender 1 run in the frame, but they still are even with the Snake River Panthers, 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brought to you by Standards Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Crop Production Services of Bancroft. Call 208-648-7891 to learn how to get the best production out of your crops.
When the time comes, you'll want true compassion balanced with clinical care for your mom or dad, grandma, or grandpa. Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs provides a warm, caring, and secure environment for individuals who need medication assistance, healthy meals, and assistance with daily activities. You can help by introducing them to our Assisted Living Center. Come on in for a tour and consultation. Find out about our monthly move-in specials and respite visits. Furnished suites are available. Call 208-547-0257. The Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs, Idaho, a place to call home.
Welcome back out to Soda Springs High School. A 1-1 ball game between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the Snake River Panthers on a chilly Friday midday. As clouds continue to make their way through, a couple of snow flurries have made their way through as well. That hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of either of these two teams, although it has seen a couple of chilly looks come from the players as they look back to the fans crowded and huddled for warmth on the bleachers around the backstop here at Soda Springs High School. Dylan Downs leads things off for the Cardinals. Jaron Johnson to lead things off. Takes a big rip at a pitch up in the zone and can't catch up as he falls down 0-1. That pitch actually above the zone, probably almost at the shoulders of Johnson. Carter settled in after the first inning. Misses with the pitch there. Has given up 4 walks, still yet to give up a hit. The only run coming across the plate on a wild pitch is this one inside, misses, and the count goes to 2-1. Cardinals have left 4 runners on base. They've had 5 on base total. Again, no hits, but a hit batsman as well as a couple of walks. Johnson flies one into center field, and it's tracked by Ramsdell, who settles under it and puts it away for out number 1 in the frame, and the Cardinals will have to look to Dylan Downs to try and get some offense rolling along on the base paths. 1-1 ball game on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Bottom of your Sanders Furniture and Appliance third inning. Downs steps to the plate now. The right-hander waits for a pitch off the plate, and the count goes to 1-0. Carter again will wander up to the top of the mound before looking in. Arm dangles to his right, gripping the white pearl in his hand, and he'll fire one that down skies into left center field. Again, coming up on the play is Gunnar Ramsdell, and he puts it away. Back-to-back outs to the center fielder. In fact, the last 3 outs recorded have been flyouts to center, as Mason Smith, who was hit by a pitch his first time up, will stride to the plate. Still tied at 1. In the bottom of the third, though, moving along very quickly, which is a big benefit to Riley Carter as the pitch misses to Mason Smith, with the count going to 1-0, as he is at 51 pitches in the game already here in the third. Winds and fires, pitch upstairs and in. Count goes to 2-0. Of course, 110 pitches, the maximum any pitcher can throw, and depending on the pitchers you have behind you, as this pitch fouled off by Mason Smith, got one in the heart of the plate and took a rip, but was a little bit late on it. Count goes to 2-1. The deeper you can get into a bullpen, especially in small school, high school baseball, the quicker you can start putting some big numbers onto that board. Now the pitch misses. Spinner on a slider that just never cut into the zone. The count goes to 3-1. Smith trying to prolong the inning, get himself on base, but takes a strike at the letters, and the count goes to 3-2. Good fastball across the inside corner. 2 outs, bottom of the third. Pitch upstairs to Mason Smith. That's ball 4, and he earns his way on base with the 5th Davis repair walk of the game for Riley Carter. Mason Smith, decent speed at first. Getting better as base turning awareness as a hit and run was on. Peyton Lish fouls one off to the left side. Mason Smith was running on the play. Lish grounded out to the pitcher his first time up on a softly hit ground ball. It was an 0-1 count then, too. Another right-handed batter for the Cardinals. Been pitching a 1-run game so far. He's only given up 1 hit against him. Fortunately for the Cardinals, that hit came across the plate as Mason Smith trying to swipe second base, thrown out. And the Cardinals, despite putting another runner up to the bag, or up to the plate, and another runner on base, cannot strike and end up leaving 0 members on the base pass as we head to the 4th inning. Your Sanders Furniture and Appliance third inning, brought to you by the one place in Soda Springs to buy Lazy Boy, Amanda, Maytag, Crosley, GE, and more. Sanders Furniture and Appliance, making your house.
This broadcast of high school sports is being made possible by the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming.
Hi, I'm Todd Hunziker. Most dealers focus on the experience you have just a few moments that you're in their store. At Hunziker Ford, we want to keep you happy forever, and to prove it, we offer warranty forever at no cost to you. So here's the deal. All you have to do is follow the maintenance schedule on virtually anything you buy from us, and the expensive powertrain components are covered forever. That's Todd Hunziker Ford, just east of Lava Hot Springs on Highway 30. It's just that simple.
Welcome back out to Soda Springs High School. Caleb Burgraff on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com. And we hope you're enjoying today's broadcast of Cardinal baseball, as the Cardinals tied with Snake River 1-1. What's been a defensive showdown so far, much difference from the offensive fireworks show that took place the first time these two teams met in the early season. That was an 18-8 win for Snake River. Snake River coming into this 3-12, looking for win number 4 as Peyton Lish fires a pitch to the plate. Throw down to second base off the mark by Caleb Peterson, but that will welcome Dallin Wadoops to the plate. He struck out to end the first inning his first time up. He'll be looking for a different result here. Had 4 pitches come to the plate in that plate appearance. Behind him, Cody Rushton, who reached on an error, and Caden Martin will be the next 3 scheduled. Lish steps back up onto the bump, looks in, and the top of the 4th inning set to get underway in a 1-1 ball game. Lish to the plate, upstairs and in, and the count goes to 1-0. Cardinals in the field. They've still made an error, actually 2 errors, but they have been playing better defensively in this game than they did against Bear Lake, as a pitch inside swung on and missed. The bottom drops out of a changeup, and the count goes to 1-1. Peterson behind the plate, the freshman getting opportunities to get himself opportunities in the game, both swinging and catching. As he flashes the signs once again, holds up the glove, and the pitch to the plate inside and jams. Dallin Wadoops can't get the bat on the ball again, and the count goes to 1-2. Lish looking for his 5th strikeout. Peyton, one of those members of the Cardinals that doesn't necessarily have a lot of speed behind his pitches, but good location. And he changes speeds well. Has good movement on his pitches too. As this pitch tried to muscle up on one, and it ends up bouncing in the dirt back to the backstop, and the count goes to 2-2. Nobody out, leadoff batter here in the top of the 4th inning. Lish again looks in as Wadoops steps into the right-handed box, wears a glove on the right hand above his left hand, which grips the bat rubber to hand, as they'll foul a pitch off to the right side. That's going to get back and almost to the field to our right. Count stays frozen at 2-2 here in the top of the 4th inning. Halfway through this ball game, the official halfway point would be the end of this top of the frame, and Snake River looking to try and punch a run across, and they'll have an opportunity to do is with a 2-2 count. Wadoops gets on base again. The first hit batter by Peyton Lish in the game. Thought he had hit one earlier, but it ended up being a balk beforehand that brought the batter back to the plate. He struck him out. But now leadoff runner on first. Snake River will most likely, you expect, to put him in motion with the freshman catcher behind the plate, and Cody Rushton will step in. The catcher for Snake River looking to get on base. He reached on an error to get on base in the top of the 2nd inning. Got to third base before being stranded there. Behind Rushton, Martin awaits an opportunity. He popped out to the pitcher his first time up. Lish continuing to check the runner back at first. Kicks, fires, pitch upstairs and in. Misses for a ball. Way up high. It had Rushton bending out of the way. Lish, as far as his pitch count's concerned, 48 pitches here into the 4th inning. He again looks back to the runner behind him. Checks, fires, a pitch inside. That's back-to-back hit batters by Peyton Lish, who's not finishing his pitches. And he's causing himself distress now as he puts not only the go-ahead run on base, but an extra insurance run on base. And that hit batsman ends up pushing the go-ahead run to second. Now in scoring position if Cody Rushton can put a ball in play. 2 hit batsmen, 1 walk. 4 strikeouts for Lish and 1 hit against him. 6 total base runners for the Snake River Panthers. Lish will set once again, kicks, fires, that pitch inside, and trying to find the strike zone again is Peyton Lish. He's really battling to adjust himself and get himself into that 18-inch by about 2.5, 3 feet zone. He'll set once again, 1-0 count. Kicks, fires, and that one swung on, grounded back to Lish, into the legs. He throws to third, but wide of Jaron Johnson. The ball leaks out into the gap between softball and baseball. It's out of play, and the E1 now brings home a run and puts runners at 2nd and 3rd for the Panthers. Lish made the right decision, but the throw has to be on target. And without the benefit of a hit, all of a sudden the Snake River Panthers have a 2-1 lead on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard, and Lish's day done already. As he and Taylor Adams, it looks like, will be rotating around. Cardinals making several switches, and Dylan Downs is going to be called on as he's going to come in and pitch. So Peyton Lish's day is done. We're going to give you a look at his line score as well as what Downs is bringing to the plate as we return on after this on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Arctic Circle of Soda Springs, where you can get burgers made from premium Black Angus beef, as well as fries and onion rings with their delicious fry sauce. Be sure to top it all off with a soft serve cone piled high and dipped with their delicious chocolate topping.
Whether it's warm outside and you need an air conditioning system, or cold outside and you need a new natural gas furnace, Reed's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep your family comfortable, and there's never been a better time to convert to natural gas. With great service and expertise, Reed's is your all-weather friend in southeastern Idaho. Call us today, 208-547-4466, and we'll get right to work making your home comfortable and cozy. That's Reed's Plumbing and Heating at 208-547-4466. Natural gas, it's worth asking for.
The Soda Springs Cardinals have made an error in 3 of the last 4 innings, as we're here in the top of the 4th inning. 2-1, the Snake River Panthers leading this game so far as they push across a run without the benefit of a hit. And the Soda Springs Cardinals will be looking to try and adjust and get themselves a little bit more of an opportunity to give the offense a better chance. And with that, Dylan Downs steps into the pitcher's circle for Peyton Lish. 3+ innings of work, 2 runs given up so far, 2 more on base that would be his if they come across. 2 hit batsmen, as well as a walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit against him. 3 errors in the field against him as well. One of those stands on second. One of those hit batsmen stands over at third. Downs will set as he'll face Jace White, and the first pitch to White swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-1. Gage Herning and Benson Isom, the next 2, and now time called as the batter stepped out, and Downs will have to readjust his routine as he gets back into the stretch. It's tough when you're a pitcher coming to the game straight from the stretch. Downs rocks, fires, the shoulders dipping there, and that threw him off as the count goes to 1-1. Downs had to get up and warm quickly. Snake River again in danger of putting across 2 more runs with nobody out. Peyton Lish looked like he was breezing through this one, ran into trouble here as another swing and a miss by Jace White has him down in the count 1-2. Bottom of 3 in the order due up for the Panthers. Unless a double play or some fortuitous circumstance eliminates one of those runners on base. As a pitch swung on and missed, Downs comes in and strikes out the first batter he sees. Big punch out for Dylan Downs. And Gage Herning will step up after he grounded out to third. In a line-out double play. He'll ground one towards third again, just kicks foul of the bag. By a foot, kicked foul, and everyone will have to return to where they are, as that is a dangerous strike for the Cardinals to give up. Herning will step back. Ball was off of the line as Jaron Johnson was going to have very little chance of getting to that one. Case Griffiths was coming up, but it was going to score at least 1 run, possibly 2. Down to the plate, this one is going to be grounded towards short. Zach Housley makes a strong throw, and the throw back to third cuts down the runner. A run does come across to score, but it's a double play going 6-3-5, and the Cardinals get out of a possible big inning as they leave the Snake River Panthers wanting more. 3-1 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as the run does score on your home for Cardinal Athletics. MyLocalRadio.com and KBRV the Co-op.
Caribou County Athletics are being brought to you by Bear River Head Start, where they are now accepting applications for preschool. Call 435-755-0181 and enroll your 3- or 4-year-old children today.
Here's a look at some of your Lalaton's food specials for the week of April 20th through the 26th in Soda Springs. Grab 80% lean, 20% fat ground beef for $2.49 a pound. Boneless pork country-style ribs are $1.49 a pound. And all-natural boneless, skinless family pack chicken breasts are $1.99 a pound. In fruits and vegetables, red cluster tomatoes are available at 99 cents a pound. 8-ounce packages of whole or sliced mushrooms are $1.49 a pound. And 3-pound bags of mandarin tangerines are $3.99 each. Those are just some of your Lalaton food specials in Soda Springs. This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Ricky Wood and Gate City Real Estate. Call Ricky today at 208-547-7012 and let her help you find your way home. We have a score update from the softball field. 12-2, Snake River leading that game in the bottom of the third inning, as Snake River putting a hurting onto the Cardinals. Cardinals looking to try and prove that the first time they faced Snake River and had a chance to win it in a 9-8 loss in 7 innings was not a fluke. The Snake River into the field, and looks like the Cardinals get a base hit block of that field, or view of that field, blocked by the bleachers. We're getting the updates thanks to Christy Evans for the updates. Of course, Christy Evans and Mountain States Insurance, a sponsor of Cardinal Athletics here in the spring. Here 3-1. As the Soda Springs Cardinals will bring Dalton Capel into left field for the Snake River Panthers. Peyton Lish up to the plate will take a cut at a pitch and ends up getting a single to lead things off. So as he's pulled out and moved over to first base, he gets a base knock against Riley Carter, and that breaks up a no-hitter by Riley Carter out there on the pitcher's mound. Peyton Lish will be pinch run for, as that will put Connor Torman into the game. Stepping up to the batter's box now is Caleb Peterson, as he will attempt to get the rally started for the Cardinals, down by 2, 3-1 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard after a pair of runs come across in the last inning. Only one of those runs was earned, as an error was made. Cardinals 3 errors already in this game as they continue to struggle with consistent fielding. Pitch inside and tight to Peterson, has him lifting his arms out of the way, and the count goes to 1-0. Peterson lined out to center field the first pitch he saw. That was back in the second inning. Second chance here for him as he calls time. And everybody will take a moment to set themselves up. Pete steps back into the right-handed box. Taylor Adams on deck. As Carter winds and fires, this pitch is lifted into shallow right center field. That's going to drop down for a hit. Connor Torman up to second base, and it's back-to-back singles for the Cardinals. Neither one very strongly hit, but hit to the right places. And the Cardinals with first and second, nobody out, and Taylor Adams, the left-hander for the Cardinals, stepping up. See if they have Adams put the bunt down. And a pinch runner will come out. Logan Mumford will run for Caleb Peterson, the catcher. And pitchers and catchers you can pinch run for. As Pete gets another hit, the young sophomore getting the cheers and adulation of the dugout as he jogs back. Adams shows bunt, puts one down. That's a good one, dying in front of home plate. Adams is thrown down at first. It's a sacrifice bunt, though, and Adams puts both runners into scoring position on a beautiful sacrifice that'll set things up for Griffiths in the top of the order with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cardinals trailing 3-1. The tying run stands at second base, though. Griffiths to the plate, the new left fielder for the Cardinals, as he swings and misses at a first pitch up in the zone. Took a rip, being aggressive. He'll step into the right-handed box again. Swings. This ball's lifted into shallow right field. That gets past the glove of the second baseman. Cardinals will wave one. Logan Mumford trying to score. Throw beats him, and he's gunned down at the plate. Yuskoski sent him at the start and then tried to hold him up, but the stop sign came up too late. It is an RBI single for Case Griffiths, but a run cut down at the plate puts 2 outs onto the board, and the Soda Springs Cardinals still trail 3-2. 3 hits in the inning, though. Carter will now face the top of the order for the Cardinals. Zach Housley 0 for 0 as a runner goes, and the throw is going to be well off of the bag, and diving back, Case Griffiths just in time. He gets his first MySpace stolen base of the game. First for the Cardinals in the game as well. They've had a couple of wild pitches move batters up, but have yet to see any stolen bases till that moment as Housley, big cut at a pitch that hung up in the zone. He was swinging for the left field fence, which we've seen him tag a couple of times in batting practice. As Carter again will fire this one, bounce towards third. That's foul just to the left of the bag. Zach thought he had that one, but now both teams have been robbed of a hit by that third base bag. Kicking down the line, just kicked to the left of the bag. 1-2 count. Carter again looks in, looking to get out of this inning and limit damage as a pitch bends above the zone. The count goes to 2-2. 3-2 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Cardinals striking for one in the inning as Housley out in front of a pitch swings and misses at a slow bender, and the Cardinals go down by scoring a run. They cut it a little bit closer. 3-2 as we head to your fifth inning, brought to you by Bear Lake Drug on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Troy Young Plumbing and Heating. Call 208-221-0581 for all your plumbing needs, including new installs and remodels, repairs, furnace installation, and more.
Imagine a mining company who nurtures butterflies. At Monsanto, we plant wildflower seeds on recently mined land. The flowers support a thriving butterfly population, which then feeds small birds, who are in turn hunted by eagles and hawks. By paying attention to nature's detail, Monsanto sustains a broader ecosystem. That's one reason why 6 federal and state agencies have honored us with their highest award for excellence in annual operations. Monsanto. Imagine.
Soda Springs answers back to the 2 runs that the Snake River Panthers put up in the top of the 4th inning, but still trail 3-2 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. The run they scored, by the way, brought to you by Ricky Wood and Gate City Real Estate. Call Ricky at 208-547-7012 and let her help you find your way home today. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Snake River Panthers. This is the part of the order that got that first run on the board back in the 3rd inning. Benson Isom singled and came around to score as Gunnar Ramsdell and Colin Gardner were able to help him out and bring him across the plate. Dylan Downs back out for his second full inning of work as he'll fire a pitch just low and off the plate, and the count goes to 1-0. 5th inning being brought to you by Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier, Idaho, the small town pharmacy that gives you world-class service. Call them at 208-547-1421 today. Another pitch misses low, and the count goes to 2-0. Downs worked the 2 innings yesterday. Did not throw a lot of pitches in those innings, though. It was a pitch upstairs and in, has Isom bouncing out of the way. 3-0. Downs will have to try and find a pitch into the zone. See if they give the green light to Isom. Shows bunt, pulls it back. That's a strike on the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. Downs just getting a over the plate fastball. Keeps the count alive, and now we'll see if he tries something a little bit more fancy here at 3-1. Another fastball, that's off the plate, and ball 4. Another Davis Repair walk. Isom still yet to be retired. That's the first walk by Downs in the game. 2 total walks in the game surrendered by the Cardinals and 2 hit batsmen for the Snake River Panthers as Gunnar Ramsdell will step up. Reached on an error his first time up, made by Taylor Adams. Adams, by the way, now in center field. Peyton Lish has been moved over to first. Pitch to the plate, lined into right field. That's going to roll to the glove of Mason Smith. Up with it quickly, and he gets it in to second base. It's another single for the Snake River Panthers as they get their 3rd hit of the game, and holding at second base is Benson Isom. Snake River starting to put a little bit of a rally together here in the top of the 5th inning, already leading 3-2 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Downs checks the runner behind him. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Winds and fires. Pitch upstairs, swung on and missed by Gardner. Gardner's already gone down on strikes once, 0 for 2. He's grounded out to 3rd. And a line out that resulted in a double play that cut down Ramsdell as he got caught off of first base after a line out to Jaron Johnson. Downs will check in again. Holds it at the belt. Winds and steps to the plate. This one popped up. Should be playable over towards the fence by first base. Peyton Lish goes over, and the out's recorded. A weak pop out to the right side And Soda Springs gets themselves one out closer to getting out. Riley Carter will step up. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Strikeout was looking on a called strike at the knees. 3-2, Cardinals trailing by 1 to Snake River. Downs looks behind him and now sets again at the belt. Kicks, fires, a pitch upstairs and tight, and the count goes to 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes here in your Bear Lake Drug 5th inning with 2 outs, or 1 out, in the top of the 5th. Dylan Downs trying to wiggle out of a jam after allowing the first 2 runners to reach base. Another upstairs pitch misses, and the count goes to 2-0. A little bit more snow starting to sprinkle down here at the Diamond. Soda Springs. Again, we're supposed to get these flurries throughout the day. Downs fires this pitch, grounded right back to him, looks to third, to second, and now just throws to first to get the out. The second out is recorded. Downs just taking the sure opportunity, realizing that if he gets Dallin Wadoops now, then he can get out of this without surrendering a run. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Snow continuing to fly in as Wadoops, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and has reached base on a hit by pitch, will stride to the plate. Snake River faithful trying to pull their team to a couple more runs. Wadoops will take a first pitch at the belt for a strike. Count moves to 0-1. The Panthers so far have done a good job with runners in scoring position, but the Cardinals have been aided by a couple of double plays in that regard. Pitch upstairs has Wadoops flying out of the way as that one came up towards his left shoulder and just able to get it out of the way before the fastball caught the glove of Caleb Peterson. Downs again looks in. This pitch over adjusts and is low. The count goes to 2-1. Wadoops had been behind in the count. Now has got himself back to a good hitter's count. He's taken off the warm-up jacket, wearing the uniform, black uniform, Panthers written across in purple script. Purple numbers across the back. Pitch to the plate upstairs. That's a strike. No, excuse me, a ball that thought it was a ball at first, and that one ended up just not catching the letters. Seen that breaking ball that bends over the plate. Umpires have not been given the high strike zone so far today with that pitch. It's been consistent for both sides, though. Downs, another pitch upstairs, misses, and he surrenders his second walk of the game. Another Davis repair base on balls, both of them in this inning. And it loads the bases with 2 outs. And Downs will have to try and get Cody Rushton, who has yet to be retired. He reached on an error, and he's been hit by a pitch. Got to try and get him out. Big bat, tall player, and the catcher for the Panthers. Looks out to Downs, who will stride to the plate and pitch on the outside corner. Paints it for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. 3-2, Snake River on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. 2 outs in the top of the Bear Lake Drug 5th inning. Peterson shows the glove through the heart of the plate. Pitch swung on, popped up. That's into shallow left field. A lot of players converging. Zach Housley finally calls it and takes care of business himself. The Cardinal shortstop puts it away, and danger is averted as 3 runners left on base for the Snake River Panthers. The Cardinals trailing by 1 head to the bottom of the 5th on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance of Montpelier, Idaho. State Farm is here to help life go right. Call Scott at 208-847-0141 for personal service.
Let technology make life a little easier and give you peace of mind about your home. With affordable security and smart home options, SilverStar makes it easy to take the first step. Keep an eye on what's important to you and be able to act before an incident becomes an emergency. You're in good hands when you choose SilverStar. We've been bringing cutting-edge technology and star treatment customer service to Eastern Idaho and Western Wyoming for nearly 70 years. Call us today and ask about our starter security and smart home packages.
Welcome back out to the fields in Soda Springs as the sun continues to try and break through some partly cloudy skies overhead. Little flurries of snow have been joining us so far today, but It's been overall a good home opener for the Soda Springs Cardinals. The biggest thing they'd like to change is the score right now on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard, 3-2. Snake River on top of the Cardinals. As back out again for another inning of work is Riley Carter. He's worked 4 innings so far, throwing 69 pitches as he's been able to come back after a 25 and 19 pitch first 2 innings. And is throwing 14 pitches and 11 pitches in the last 2 as the Cardinals have been more aggressive, and he's been able to take advantage of that for some quick outs. Cardinals did actually get some hits on him in the last inning. They got their first 3 hits of the game, brought home 1 run. Logan Mumford was thrown out trying to score as he ran through Coach Uskoski and did not pick up the late stop sign. First pitch to Kyle Dursteller is taken for a ball upstairs. Dursteller 0 for 2 so far, a fly out to center and a strikeout. He'll lift this one into center field again. Good contact, turning his back to the ball, and then seeing this one drop down off his glove is Gunnar Ramsdell, and in safely to second base is Kyle Dursteller. That'll have to be an error on the center fielder as he ends up getting it into his glove but couldn't quite grip it, and it drops away from him, and the Cardinals get their leadoff man on base. Dursteller will hand off his elbow guard to the first base coach for the Cardinals, and wandering his way out to the pitcher's mound is Coach Kevin Curtis. As the Snake River Panthers will discuss things and discuss strategy. Up by 1 here, the bottom of the Bear Lake Drug 5th inning, with the Cardinals threatening. The big bats in the lineup set to come up. Jaron Johnson and Dylan Downs, the next 2 in the scheduled order. Mason Smith as well. Mason Smith has been on base both times, a walk and a hit by pitch, and he was thrown out trying to steal second base. Jaron Johnson 0 for 1, he's walked as well, and Dylan Downs is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. So some decent swingers coming up for the Soda Springs Cardinals. The biggest thing for them is, again, making sure you make productive outs to move up that runner. Even if you don't get on base, if Johnson, say, grounds one to second, Dursteller able to move up to third, that's a productive out. Makes a deep fly ball that Dursteller can move up on. That's a productive out. Grounding out in front of him or striking out is not, as the first pitch, a breaking ball swung on and missed by Johnson, and he goes down 0-1 in the count. That pitch dove into the dirt at the plate. The first strike is recorded. Pitch to the plate, inside, but catches the inside corner, and the count goes 0-2. A breaking ball that bent back. Didn't expect it to bend back as much as it did from my point of view, but it did, and the count goes to 0-2 as now they'll get Dursteller picked off, but the ball goes into center field. Dursteller rounds third, stumbled a bit, and is gonna cross the plate standing up as the Cardinals, without a hit, end up taking a tie ball game to their own favor. It's an unearned run against Riley Carter after the error in center field ended up allowing Dursteller to cross the plate, but another error by the Panthers, it compounds it and allows Dursteller to score. 3-3 ball game after another Gate City Real Estate and Ricky Wood run. Call Ricky at 208-547-7012, and errors won't be what gets you home. She'll be completely thorough in getting you that new home. Pitch to Johnson upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. Also, if you're trying to sell your home, use that as she will make sure it's the seamless prospects of getting that home onto the market. As Johnson now lifts one into left field, that's going to drop in front of the new left fielder, Dalton Capel. And on first base, Jaron Johnson with the Cardinals' 4th hit of the game. And he represents the go-ahead run for Soda Springs. Dylan Downs behind him will bat 0 for 2, trying to get his first base knock of the day. The new pitcher for the Cardinals trying to help his own cause and get himself into the win column. Just needs to push one into the outfield as that pitch somehow missed, and the count goes to 1-0. Johnson will lead off of first. Pitch upstairs and in. Downs ahead in the count now, 2-0. 77 pitches in for Riley. Again, this is where you start seeing maybe fatigue start catching in to some of these younger pitchers and some of these even elder pitchers, as high school is always going to be a young name. Pitch crosses the zone once again. Count goes to 2-1. He'll set, Carter fires. This pitch is bounced over towards short. Could be two. Flip goes to second for one. On to first, but it pulls the first baseman off the bag. And Downs will be safe at first on a 6-4 fielder's choice. Jaron Johnson is eliminated from the base paths. The Cardinals will look to Mason Smith now to try and keep things moving along in the carousel. Downs will be pinch run for as Ryan Atterbury will check into the game for the Cards. He'll be running on first base line. Downs will jog off of the field as Mason Smith will wait to step into the batter's box till he gets into the dugout. Downs not happy with himself, it looks like, for the ground out, but not a double play as he's able to hustle it down the line as the pitch off the outside corner misses and the count goes to 1-0. Smith has walked and been hit by a pitch. He's seen the most pitches of any of the Cardinals so far today. That's the 12th that he's seen, and Hill's going to flare one over to right field. Moving over, though, and making the grab and throwing back to first base to complete the double play is Dolan Wadoops. A veteran move as that's a fly out to the right fielder and a throw on to first to record the double play as Ryan Atterbury was caught off of the bag, and the Cardinals will strike for one. It's an unearned run, but they still even things up. We're tied at 3 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Your Bear Lake Drug 5th inning has been brought to you by the small town pharmacy that gives you world-class service. Call them at 208-847-1421 or visit them today. We will be visiting the 6th inning when we come back on your home for Cardinal Sports.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Arctic Circle of Soda Springs, where you can get burgers made from premium Black Angus beef, as well as fries and onion rings with their delicious fry sauce. Be sure to top it all off with a soft serve cone piled high and dipped with their delicious chocolate topping.
Whether it's warm outside and you need an air conditioning system or cold outside and you need a new natural gas furnace, Reed's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep your family comfortable, and there's never been a better time to convert to natural gas. With great service and expertise, Reed's is your all-weather friend in southeastern Idaho. Call us today, 208-547-4466, and we'll get right to work making your home comfortable and cozy. That's Reed's Plumbing and Heating at 208-547-4466. Natural gas, it's worth asking for.
Welcome back out to Soda Springs. We're on a cold and windy day, but broken up by blue sky overhead. The Soda Springs Cardinals are to a 3-3 ball game on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard, and they will be facing the bottom half of the order. Caden Martin will be followed by Jace White and by Gage Herning, Dalton Capel, As Downs back out for a third inning, will fire a pitch off the plate to Caden Martin. Count goes to 1-0. Downs will set once again, works quickly, and a loopy curveball will drop its way in. And Caden Martin offset enough by that one in order to throw it in. Talking with head coach Jeff Yuskoski earlier, that is one of those pitches that you just need one that you can throw for a strike, an off-speed pitch that you can set the batter off, that you can locate as a pitch fouled off to the right side will end up beyond the fences and towards the fields to our right. 1-2 the count to the leadoff batter here in the top of the 6th inning. 3-3 your score on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard in a game that's moved by relatively quickly as neither team's had too many long innings. The ball chopped over towards third. Another chance for Johnson. Cups the ball to his chest. Fires to first. A dart that records the out. And Johnson gives Dylan Downs out number 1 onto the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. For Downs, it's yet another assist as he's got 3 of them in the game now. He has made 1 error as well. He's also been the finishing touches of a double play. Brings up Jace White. He struck out twice, both times swinging. And the first pitch to him bounces and kicks up dirt as he gets ahead in the count 1-0. Dylan so far has struck out 1 batter, only given up the 1 hit. That run was stranded back in the other inning when the Cardinals stranded the bases loaded, as this pitch is going to end up a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. And Downs, one of those quick working pitchers out on the mound. much like Carter's been for the Panthers. As this ball flared foul towards the right side, Lish trying to get some room for it, reaches and climbs up the fence but has it go off his glove. Tried to climb the fence and bring it back in, but just could not quite reach it back for his glove, and the count instead just moves to 1-2. On deck, Dalton Capel, the left fielder, the JV left fielder, will be stepping up to the plate. Still waiting to see if Jace White will be on base for him. 1-2. White, who struck out twice, trying not to go down for a third time. Pitch just a bit upstairs, another bender. And as I've said before, we have not seen the home plate umpire give that bending pitch to the pitchers when it's up in the zone. Again, it's where it crosses the plate, not where the catcher catches the pitch. Is lifted into center field. That's got some tail to it. Back goes Taylor Adams and sees the ball bounce in front of him. It'll be a stand-up double for Jace White as he got a pitch in the middle of the zone and drove it to a one-hop against the fence for the second hit against Downs. And the bottom of the order looking like they might be able to get something going and give the Panthers the lead back. 3-3 game on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard is stepping up. Dalton Capel will be charged with trying to bring his team a little bit closer. Steps into the right-handed box, yellow jersey. And pitch to the plate, down low and blocked by Caleb Peterson, and the count goes to 1-0. Dalton Capel getting his first at-bat, replacing Gage Herning, who's grounded out twice into double plays. One was actually a double play line out. As Downs will set up again. Looks back, looks the runner back, and the pitch swung on and fought off foul. Count goes to 1-1. Dillon was expected to be one of the main starters for the Cardinals. In fact, he started the first game against the Panthers. But's been moved to more of a relief role, more of a closer role, as the pitch bounced up to the plate, squeaks away from Peterson, but he's able to track it down. He's thrown 24 pitches coming into this inning. He's up to 36 now on the last game of the week, and plenty of time between games. Should have the Cardinals given plenty of rest for their starters for the last week. As this pitch swung on, chopped over towards third. Johnson will see the runner move up behind him, but makes the strong throw to first, and out number 2 is recorded. Jaron settling down after making that early error. We'll bring up Benson Eisen. He's 1 for 1. Has walked and has singled for the Panthers. Both times were leadoff walks and singles to get innings started. Here trying to carry the load for the team and bring home the runner from third base. That's the go-ahead run in a 3-3 game here in the top of the 6th. First pitch fought off to right field. Mason Smith is able to line into it, though, and pulls it in. A line drive out, well struck, but to the wrong place by Benson Isom, and the Soda Springs Cardinals will again get out of danger as they leave a runner stranded over at third base for the third time in the game. Back with more on KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com. Cardinals looking for a lead as they head to the bottom of the 6th inning on your home for Cardinal Athletics.
Caribou County Athletics on KBRV are brought to you by Bear Lake Dental, where their commitment is to provide you with the highest standard of personalized dental care in a gentle, efficient, and professional manner. Call 208-847-0153 to schedule your appointment with Bear Lake Dental.
Get it to go at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs and Patterson Easy Way in Grace, Idaho. From pizza to potato wedges, from burritos to the jalapeno flavored corn dogs, from candy, clothing, car accessories, and fountain drinks, convenience is fun. And Patterson Quick Stop and Patterson Easy Way help to fill your needs conveniently. They have something for everyone: food, fuel, and fun at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs and Patterson Easy Way in Grace. Right here, right now.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Mountain States Insurance Company. Stop in for help with all of your insurance needs at 30 East, 2nd South next to Caribou Jacks in Soda Springs, or call 208-547-2141 and talk to an agent today. Welcome back out to Soda Springs once again. 3-3 ball game on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Soda Springs bats in the bottom of the 6th, looking to once again get into the mind of Riley Carter. put some pressure on him as he has gotten himself out of some jams, but he's given up 3 one-run innings. The first inning, the fourth inning, and the Bear Lake Drug fifth inning have all resulted in a run for the Cardinals, hoping the same for the sixth. As the first pitch to Peyton Lish swung on, that's lifted in the air to left field. That's to the JV player brought up in Dalton Capel, and he puts it up and puts it away as the first ball hit to him is easily handled. And Peyton Lish, 3 at-bats, has seen a grand total of 6 pitches. As he heads back to the bench, Caleb Peterson will step up. He singled his last time up. 1 for 2 in the game so far. Cardinals with 4 hits. They've tried to take advantage of 2 errors and some walks, but have not been able to really push many runs across as they've left plenty on base, 5 so far. Pitch fought off by Peterson. Count goes to 0-1 to the Cardinal backstop. Taylor Adams on deck. Case Griffiths, if we get there, will be in the hole. And the pitch just missing. The count goes to 1-1. Carter will again look in for the sign. 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning in a tie game, 3-3. That pitch bends in and catches the zone, and the count goes to 1-2. Peterson's single saw him and his pinch runner, Logan Mumford, get cut down at the plate with what then would have been the tying run. He'll fight off a pitch to the right side, well foul, and that will bounce off towards the field that borders the first base line, here at Soda Springs High School. The baseball field just to the south of the football field. Pitch off speed. That's going to be off the end of the bat towards right field. A dive and a catch made. Dolan Wadoops laying out and snaring one on the fly, and the out is recorded. A fantastic play made, and Caleb Peterson retired on a show of athleticism by the Snake River right fielder. Wadoops tracked it and saw it all the way into his glove. Fantastic play by that young man. Taylor Adams will step up now. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt to his credit, and the first pitch misses inside and low. Trying to make it so it's not a 1-2-3 6th inning. Tied at 3 in the bottom of the frame on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. This pitch fought off and fouled back behind us. Count goes to 1-1. Adams trying to get a late rally started. 3-all here in the bottom of the 6th. Infield brought in on the corners. Playing back up the middle as a pitch has Adams walking away. That one had a bit too much spin on it, and the curveball broke out of the zone. Outfield shifted to the right side slightly, playing shallow as a swing and a miss at a fastball in the outside corner. Moves it back to 2-2. 7th inning will be coming up, and the Panthers will have the top of their order lined up behind Benson Isom. This pitch swung on and missed. A late decision to swing by Taylor Adams, and he goes down on strikes. That is strike number 3. That's the inning, and we head to the top of the 7th inning. Soda Springs tied up with Snake River as we look for more on KBRV The Co-op and online with our live video stream at mylocalradio.com.
This production of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by London Drug and Grace, your good neighbor pharmacy, locally owned, locally loved.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Caribou Jacks Trading Company in Soda Springs, supplying you with everything for your home and your one-stop shop for all of your barbecue needs this spring and summer. Stop by at 50 East 2nd South in Soda Springs or call 208-547-4326 today. Welcome back out to Soda Springs High School as we head to a big 7th inning, for both of these teams, tied up 3-3 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. As Dylan Downs will finish up his warm-up pitches, and he'll be facing he'll be facing Gunnar Ramsdell, Colin Gardner, and Riley Carter, the top three in the order for the Panthers. As good a spot as any to start out with if you are a fan of Snake River. All knotted up at 3. As Downs, for the second time, will work his way through the top frame. First pitch, down in the dirt, kicks up some dirt, and Ramsdell gets ahead in the count, 1-0. Ramsdell is 1 for 3 so far, reached on an error, a single, and a ground out to second base. Downs will set himself up once again, winds and fires. That's way up there, and that catches Ramsdell, and a hit by pitch will allow a runner on to first base to start things off. That's the third batter the Cardinals have hit so far in the game. Fourth if you count a hit by pitch that was erased by a balk. And that's danger to have on the base paths as it puts speed out there and brings up Gardner. He's 0 for 3, trying to change his fortunes at the plate. Downs fires. That pitch bunted at. Good bunt. Picked up by Downs. Throws to first, and the out recorded there. And the Panthers playing a little bit of small ball. Put a runner into scoring position. That run, the go-ahead run with Riley Carter stepping up. The pitcher trying to help his own cause. He's 0 for 2. He struck out, grounded back to the pitcher, and has walked. The walk was his first at-bat. Downs will wind and fire. Pitch chopped over towards third. Picked up by Johnson. Tough hop throw on to first. Bounces into the glove of Lish, but he cleanly picks it up. A fantastic pick by the Cardinals' first baseman. And the Cardinals are an out away from stranding yet another Panther on the base paths as Ramsdell moves up to third base. Down Wadoops, who himself is 0 for 1, been hit by a pitch and walked, will try and bring that runner home. Do what so many have failed to do so far in this game for Snake River. They've left 6 on base in this game. And any of those 6 could have changed the fate, especially with 3 of them being stranded at third as a breaking ball dove off the table, and Dylan Downs gets ahead of the count 0-1. Wadoops was caught chasing one well out of the zone and away, as it looked like he was geared up for something that was going to drop a little bit less. Pitch to the plate. That's a fastball that throws him off the scent, and the count goes to 0-2 as that's fought off to the field behind us. And now after seeing a little bit of soft, a little bit of hard, Downs with plenty of places to go, especially ahead in the count 0-2. Looks in for the sign from Pete. Sets up. And a pitch upstairs trying to get Wadoops chasing. That was a set pitch to try and get him to go. It was not necessarily looking for the strike. We'll move it to a 1-2 count. Downs will once again set. Fires a pitch. This one framed in the middle of the plate, and down goes Wadoops looking. 2 strikeouts for Dylan Downs. The second one a looker as the Soda Springs Cardinals will have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. We come back on your home for Cardinal Athletics, KBRV The Co-op, and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Crop Production Services of Bancroft. Call 208-648-7891 to learn how to get the best production out of your crops.
When the time comes, you'll want true compassion balanced with clinical care for your mom or dad, grandma or grandpa. Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs provides a warm, caring, and secure environment for individuals who need medication assistance, healthy meals, and assistance with daily activities. You can help by introducing them to our Assisted Living Center. Come on in for a tour and consultation. Find out about our monthly move-in specials and respite visits. Furnished suites are available. Call 208-547-0257. The Edgewood Assisted Living Center in Soda Springs, Idaho, a place to call home.
Caribou County Athletics on KBRV are brought to you by
bottom of the 7th inning on your home for Cardinal Athletics. Cardinal softball falls to Snake River, 14-2 the final score from the softball diamond. So the Cardinals swept on the year. As back out onto the mound for his 7th inning of work is Riley Carter as he looks to close things out and move this team into the 8th inning between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the Snake River Panthers. All knotted up at 3. Cardinals left 9-1-2 coming up. Case Griffiths, Zach Housley, and Kyle Dursteller. Good spot to be in, especially if Griffiths can get on base, and the first pitch is taken upstairs for a ball. Cardinals just need one. Pitch down low and away, and Griffiths gets himself up 2-0. Zach Housley still looking for his first hit in the game, although he's been on base twice, waits on deck. This pitch flared out into center, but Ramsdell able to maneuver his way over to his left and puts it away. He has been a force in center field. The Cardinals hitting some balls hard, but right into the center field gap, as he has now made 5 putouts in the game. 1 out now brings Zach Housley to the plate, and he's missed. He watches the first pitch miss, and the count goes to 1-0. He's walked twice, scored a run, and struck out swinging. He'll take a rip, chops one high in the air over towards third, and a throw on to first base is a quick out number 2, as Kyle Dursteller, who reached on an error his last time up, will be the Cardinals' last hope. Jace White with a strong throw to first base to get the Cardinals' speedy shortstop. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th now. Housley will jog his way back to the dugout. 2 balls in play. Cardinals have been doing their job by putting it in play, but the defense is held up for the Panthers. First pitch, a breaker upstairs that misses to Dursteller. 3 all in the bottom of the 7th inning. Looking to avoid extras are the Soda Springs Cardinals. This will be the second extra inning game for Cardinal baseball and softball this week, as Cardinal softball went to extras with Firth earlier. This pitch flared up into right center field. It's a long run for both. That's going to get past both the right fielder, and the center fielder. Dursteller rounds second, holds up there, and the winning run for the Cardinals on the best hit ball of the day for Soda Springs stands at second base. 5th hit given up by Riley Carter. And Jaron Johnson, who's got a single to his credit already, will look to try and bring home Dursteller from second. Dursteller's already scored once. That was on a ball that was thrown back to second to try and pick him off that went into center field. That run, a completely unearned run, both in coming across the plate and before, as the ball gets past the catcher, and Dursteller moves up to third. Another pass ball, and a dangerous time for that to take place. Bottom of the 7th. And at 100 pitches, Carter will be making some substitutions and changes, I believe. And they're going to intentionally walk both Jaron Johnson and Dylan Downs. So walking them to load the bases up for Mason Smith. And Mason Smith, who is 0 for 1, flew out to center field, takes the first pitch for a ball. Bases juice, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Cards just need 1. Dursteller leaks off of third base as a strike catches the ankles of Mason Smith. Carter looks in again, winds and fires. This pitch swung on and fought off to the fields behind us. Count goes to 1-2. Baseball trying to avenge a loss earlier. Mason Smith with a 1-2 count in the bottom of the 7th has it all in his hands. Carter sets, winds, fires way upstairs, and Smith takes it for ball number 2. 2-2 count. Carter again sets. Still in his favor, pitch to work with, and he blows away Mason Smith. Strikes him out swinging, and the Cardinals will leave the bases loaded. We head to the 8th inning. Extras coming up on KBRV The Co-op and online with our live video stream at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance of Montpelier, Idaho. State Farm is here to help life go right. Call Scott at 208-847-0141 for personal service.
Let technology make life a little easier and give you peace of mind about your home. With affordable security and smart home options, SilverStar makes it easy to take the first step. Keep an eye on what's important to you and be able to act before an incident becomes an emergency. You're in good hands when you choose SilverStar. We've been bringing cutting-edge technology and star treatment customer service to Eastern Idaho and Western Wyoming for nearly 70 years. Call us today and ask about our starter security and smart home packages.
Extra innings coming up here at Soda Springs High School as Dylan Downs continues his warm-up pitches and wraps them up as he's going to be facing Cody Rushton, Caden Martin, and Jace White in the top of the 8th inning. Extra frames for the Soda Springs Cardinals after they stranded the bases loaded. Mason Smith, after having both Jaron Johnson and Dylan Downs intentionally walked, ended up striking out swinging on a 2-2 pitch. Downs will look in now as he looks to try and give the Cardinals offense another shot. And this foul ball right back to the screen moves it to 0-1. Gets himself ahead in the count. Downs will again look in. Sets, fires, pitch inside, misses. Count goes to 1-1. Coach Uskoski out of the dugout. A few fresh baseballs for the umpire. Cardinals defensively playing straight up everywhere. A little bit shallower in center. Pitch grounded back up the middle for a single. Dive by Zach Housley comes up short as he went all the way to the second base side to try and get there, but it ends up being a leadoff single for Rushton. And Cody gets the 3rd hit against Dylan Downs in the game. Downs up to 49 pitches now as he'll face Caden Martin, who is 0 for 3. A ground out reached on an error and flew out to the pitcher. Downs checks behind him at the runner. Don't normally expect tons of speed from the catcher, but a throw over anyways will have him diving back to the bag. 3-all in the top of the 8th inning. First extra inning game for the Cardinal baseball squad this year. Looking to try and avenge an 18-8 loss in Snake River. Pitch swung on line over the glove of Jaron Johnson into left field. Case Griffiths up with it quickly, overruns the ball, but gets back to it and gets the ball in. Back-to-back singles for Snake River to open up the 8th inning. And Downs again with his back against the wall will have to try and tightrope out of some danger. Snow again beginning to sprinkle the field here in Soda Springs as another peppering of the white stuff continues to prove that winter hasn't quite released its grip. You can still see the snow up in the mountains as well beyond us. Downs looks back to second, fires to the plate, pitch upstairs misses, and the count goes to 1-0. Behind in the count, looking to fight and fight a little bit more. Keep this game tied. Pitch upstairs again. Downs missing a little bit up, and that's been one of the reasons why those 2 hits came. Is Snake River was able to take advantage of a couple of pitches down in the zone. Downs again will set, trying to dial in. This pitch popped up, and that will find its way foul. Count goes to 2-1. Downs at least gets the strike up onto the board in his favor. Here in this 3-3 game in the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals defensively trying to hold. Downs winds and fires. Pitch way up out of the zone, and the count goes 3-1. Downs 54 pitches in, should not necessarily have arm problems as he again toes the left side of the rubber. Looks in. Sets at the belt. Fires. That pitch missing as well, and the base is chock full of Panthers with nobody out. Another Davis repair walk. Been a while since we had one of those. Downs has given up 3 of them, but here in his 5th inning of work, looking to tightrope out of danger. Brings up the JV Dalton Capel. Capel, excuse me. I believe I pronounced that wrong again. It's been a rough one with his name. Capel will come over and chat with his coach. Snow again beginning to flurry its way down. Pepper the fans. As Capel getting a good talking to from his coach right now. Talking with Coach Curtis. Said this team has been led by 2 seniors, but he says the youth is really starting to bring some talent around. As that is where he has several sophomores who have definitely made their presence known. He's starting to look and see which of those kids will be his future team, as he is a new coach and did not have a ton of time to prepare over in Snake River. His Cardinals also meeting out there in the mound as Coach Yuskoski breaks up. And now we'll head back. Just wanted to make sure his infield knew exactly what to do, as they're still going to play back, looking for the double play. Infield corners will play shorter. Maybe expect a possible suicide squeeze coming from the young bat of Dalton Capel. Dalton steps into the right-handed box. Blue cleats with the white Nike swoosh, shows bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch upstairs for a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Walk would force in the run. The bunt would also be a positive one, assuming he gets it to the right spot. You don't want to leave it too short. Sharon Johnson leaking in over at third base, just in front of the dirt island. Pitch to the plate, swung on this time and fouled off to the right. Peyton Lish might have a play, puts it away, and gets the ball back in. Big out number one comes, and everybody's got to stay put as Benson Isom will step up. He's 1 for 2, lined out to right field his last time up, has a single and a walk to his credit as well. Here in the 8th inning, trying to bring home that go-ahead run. 3-all with 1 out and the bases full of Panthers. He'll look back over to his coach as well, steps up to the plate. Downs looks back, checks the bases around him. Pitch upstairs misses as a bunt is shown, but pulled back, I believe. And the count goes to 1-0. Bunt put down the third base line could cause trouble for the Cardinals. Also down the first base line, just playing for that 1 run to give yourselves the lead. If you got to give up a batter to do so, you got to do it. Pitch over to first, and they cut down the runner. Leaking off of the bag was Jace White. Peyton Lish got the tag down as White's slide was not a very good definition of a slide, and he's cut down and now 2 outs. Benson Isom now with 2 outs will have to try and bring home a runner from third base, and a completely different situation now after a pickoff move by Downs cuts down one of the runners loading up the bases. Pitch to the plate, lifted into right field. Mason Smith comes in on it, puts it away, but no, drops it again. For the 2nd straight week, the Cardinals have their right fielder drop a ball. Mason Smith had it hit the pocket of his glove, and it bled out. On to first base goes the runner. No RBI, but 2 runs. Both will be unearned, and it brings up the top of the order, Gunnar Ramsdell. The 4th error on the Cardinals in the game. As a pitch fought off, Mason with another chance. This one is put away as he gets some redemption, but Snake River strikes for 2. They lead it 5-3 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as we return with the bottom of the 8th inning on your home for Cardinal Athletics, KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Arctic Circle of Soda Springs, where you can get burgers made from premium Black Angus beef, as well as fries and onion rings with their delicious fry sauce. Be sure to top it all off with a soft serve cone piled high and dipped with their delicious chocolate topping.
Whether it's warm outside and you need an air conditioning system, or cold outside and you need a new natural gas furnace, Reed's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep your family comfortable, and there's never been a better time to convert to natural gas. With great service and expertise, Reed's is your all-weather friend in southeastern Idaho. Call us today, 208-547-4466, and we'll get right to work making your home comfortable and cozy. That's Reed's Plumbing and Heating at 208-547-4466. Natural gas, it's worth asking for.
Cardinals had a chance to get out of a jam, but a mistake in the field gives the Snake River Panthers a 5-3 lead, as the bottom of the order for the Soda Springs Cardinals will be charged with trying to rally them and come back against the Panthers, who have scored 5 runs in the game, although only 2 of them are earned. Cardinals have scored 3 runs in the game. Only 2 of those have been earned, but if they can put a rally together here with the bottom of the order, you got to get 2. Lish will lead things off for the Cardinals against Riley Carter. Into his 8th inning of work, looking for the complete game. He's got 6 pitches to do it, and the first pitch grounded over towards third. Lish is going to book it down the line, but the throw beats him easily as Jace White cuts him down. And Caleb Peterson will step up to the plate. Taylor Adams on deck. Peterson, 1 for 3 so far, has flown out twice. A line out to center, and then a fly ball to right field where it was robbed by a diving catch made by Dallin Wadoops. Carter again looks in, pitch to the plate, breaking ball, bounced right back to him. He bobbles it. Peterson booking it. He's going to be just thrown out as Carter adjusts. On 2 pitches, the Cardinals have 2 outs, and Taylor Adams, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a sacrifice, and a ground ball back to the pitcher, is their last hope. Just get on base. That's all he can worry about. Down 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Looking to try and snap a 2-game losing streak, but it's going to take a comeback effort by Soda Springs with the bottom of the order leading the charge, and the first pitch misses away. 107 pitches now for Riley Carter. Another pitch swung on and fouled off. Big rip by Taylor Adams as the count goes to 1-1. 110 pitch limit could be a factor here if Taylor Adams gets on base, as he'll swing and fight another pitch off. The count goes to 1-2, and the Cardinals down to their last strike on their home field, trying to pull off a win. Pitch from Carter, swung on, chopped, foul down the first base line. And this officially will be the last batter for Riley Carter, as he needs to get Adams out if he wants this complete game. Adams looks out. Carter sets at the chest, winds, fires. This pitch swung on and missed, and Adams goes down. Throw to the first base, retires it, and the Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th as they end up falling to Snake River for the 2nd time this year, losing 5-3 in extra innings. Cardinals will have a JV game coming up next. We'll take a break and bring you your post-game wrap-up on KBRV The Co-op and online at mylocalradio.com, your home for Cardinal Athletics.
This broadcast of high school sports is being made possible by the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming.
Hi, I'm Todd Hunziker. Most dealers focus on the experience you have just a few moments that you're in their store. At Hunziker Ford, we want to keep you happy forever, and to prove it, we offer warranty forever at no cost to you. So here's the deal. All you have to do is follow the maintenance schedule on virtually anything you buy from us, and the expensive powertrain components are covered forever. That's Todd Hunziker Ford, just east of Lava Hot Springs on Highway 30. It's just that simple.
Imagine a mining company that respects the quality of the environment and health of natural ecosystems. At Monsanto, we don't begin mining unless we can ensure every safeguard is in place to respect the environment. And if they're not, then we don't mine. Simple as that. That's why we take steps before, during, and after mining to reach our goal of leaving the land even better than we found it. Monsanto. Imagine.
Here's a look at some of your Lalaton's food specials for the week of April 20th through the 26th in Soda Springs. Grab 80% lean, 20% fat ground beef for $2.49 a pound. Boneless pork country-style ribs are $1.49 a pound. And all-natural boneless, skinless family pack chicken breasts are $1.99 a pound. In fruits and vegetables, red cluster tomatoes are available at 99 cents a pound. 8-ounce packages of whole or sliced mushrooms are $1.49 a pound. And 3-pound bags of tangerines are $3.99 each. Those are just some of your Lalaton food specials in Soda Springs.
This presentation of Caribou County Athletics is being brought to you by Troy Young Plumbing and Heating. Call 208-221-0581 for all your plumbing needs, including new installs and remodels, repairs, furnace installation, and more.
disappointing finish for the Soda Springs Cardinals against the Snake River Panthers, falling 5-3 in an 8-inning affair as the Cardinals' final line scored 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors. Snake River 5 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors in the game. Of the 5 runs by Snake River, 2 of them were earned. Those both came against Peyton Lish, who pitched 3+ innings, gave up the 3 runs, 2 hit batsmen, 1 walk batter, and 1 hit. He struck out 4, throwing 51 pitches. Dylan Downs ended up going 5 innings in relief, ended up giving up 2 runs, both unearned, 1 hit batter, 3 walks, 3 hits against him, and 2 strikeouts. The Cardinals, as all told, throw 111 pitches, which is interesting because Riley Carter threw 111 pitches as well, as he got the complete game in 8 innings, and giving up 2 earned runs, 3 total runs against him, 1 hit batter, 7 walks, 2 of those were intentional walks, and then 4 strikeouts to offset 5 hits made by the Soda Springs Cardinals. As for the Cardinals on offense, Kyle Dursteller 1 for 4 with a run scored. Zach Housey reached base twice with 2 of those walks. He had a run scored as well. Jaron Johnson went 1 for 2 with 2 base on balls. Dylan Downs 0 for 3 with a walk. Mason Smith went 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Peyton Lish went 1 for 4. His pinch runner scored a run and ended up leaving a man on base once in the game. Caleb Peterson 1 for 4 in the game as well. Taylor Adams went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a sacrifice bunt. Case Griffiths had an RBI single in the game and went 1 for 2. He was the lone Cardinal to get an RBI in the contest. As the Cardinals again fall to the Snake River Panthers 5-3 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. We'll take a break. When we come back, our sports update will be chatting with Joseph Messerly on your home for Cardinal Athletics, KBRV, the Co-op, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caribou County Athletics are being brought to you by Bear River Head Start, where they are now accepting applications for preschool. Call 435-755-0181 and enroll your 3 or 4-year-old children today.
Let technology make life a little easier and give you peace of mind about your home. With affordable security and smart home options, SilverStar makes it easy to take the first step. Keep an eye on what's important to you and be able to act before an incident becomes an emergency. You're in good hands when you choose SilverStar. We've been bringing cutting-edge technology and star treatment customer service to Eastern Idaho and Western Wyoming for nearly 70 years. Call us today and ask about our starter security and smart home packages.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Caleb Burgraff joined here with Joseph Messerly from the Soda Springs track team. And Joseph, first of all, when you think about the track and field season, you're really getting into the meat of it right now. What have been some of your thoughts on how the team's been doing, and as well as how you've been doing?
The team's been doing good, especially on the boys' side. I think we're up there at the top of the district, hopefully pushing for a district title on the boys' side. And the whole team's looked really just strong overall and getting stronger.
It seems like you guys are balanced from top to bottom right now and have plenty of guys in almost every single event as well, especially on the boys' side. Do you feel like that adds to the aggressiveness the team has, knowing that there's people all up and down that are going to be contributing points?
Yeah, for sure. Horsley has talked to us about that, about the fact that he does have a person in almost every single event, and that really does help us be a little more competitive, because we know we actually have some people in like field events or hurdles and stuff we usually don't have.
For yourself, what are some of the things that you've been focusing on? What are your events that you've really been pushing really hard on?
I always focus on discus. I have every year so far. The 800 I've done a few times this season, and I think I'm going to do the 2 mile in a few weeks for the first time, so that'll be fun to try.
Does your distance training that you do for cross country, does that help you out when it carries over to track and field, especially with you doing the longer events?
Yeah, that certainly helps. I mean, the reason I'm in the longer events mostly is to get ready for cross season, so just when you go out there, a lot of people are like, I don't really want to run in circles all day. I just think it's an opportunity to get stronger, and that's what Horsley's taught me.
You guys have had to deal with some interesting weather in a couple of your meets so far this year. How does that affect how you approach the events that you run or the events you participate in?
It affects them a little bit because, we've had a few really windy meets, and you kind of want to sit behind someone, especially if they're going to be just pushing you just a little bit, and you can sit behind them and not take the wind. So it just adds a little bit to the strategy, and it makes it a little more interesting, that's for sure.
As a junior, what are some of the goals that you've really set for yourself this year, knowing that you still have that year off in the distance for a senior year to make a big push? Are there any goals that you've set to help bridge that gap?
Yeah, definitely just, PR in a few events, get my times down a little bit. So when I set up for my senior year, they'll be pretty fast, hopefully. At least that's the plan.
You mentioned focusing on the discus. Does it help having good competition in that event as well this year on the boys' side in the field with Hunter Bybee's putting up some pretty big numbers early?
Yeah, it always helps. Me and Hunter joke with each other all at practice about who's better and who's not better. And we go back and forth, and we have a few times, and it's really fun to be a part of that for sure.
Joseph, thanks for the time, and good luck as you and the rest of the Cardinals continue through the season, and hopefully you'll be talking about some good results at this next meet.
Okay, thank you.
Big thanks once again to Messerly for joining us here on the post-game show and chatting with us a little bit about track as they are into about the midway point of their season. We'll be hoping to have a good back half of the year for the Tracksters. Baseball also hoping for a better half of the year. They dropped 3 straight. They're 7-5 on the season after losing 5-3 in 8 innings to the Snake River Panthers. Softball falls by a final score of 14-2. I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Cardinal Athletics on KBRV 800 AM and online at mylocalradio.com. This broadcast has been brought to you by Monsanto, Silver Star Communications, Hunsaker Ford, and by Cook Brothers Broadcasting. The proceeding has been a presentation of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, and no portion of the proceeding production can be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. We'd also like to thank office manager Kayleen Anderson and general photographer Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our fine sponsors and to all of you for tuning in and supporting athletics on KBRV. Be sure to visit mylocalradio.com for full recaps of this game and archived copies of this and other game, as well as photos and recaps of past contests. Until the next time the Cardinals take to the field, goodbye and have a wonderful afternoon.